Hey, Kishik,
Milo, how's it going, man?
what's going on? How you feeling, man?
All right, I'm hanging in there. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Everybody's seems like everybody's starting to get sick or this
Oh, I know, I know.
um
My daughter came out with chicken pox, the
chicken.
baby. Yeah. So remember how I told you that my wife had shingles? And shingles is the same virus as the chicken pox. So she
Oh,
probably went to the baby. Because they came out with that vaccine for chicken pox. So the doctor said she hadn't seen it in a long time. Um, but yeah, the baby got it from the mom. So
well,
yeah,
eh,
it's one thing after another.
yeah. Tony, how you doing, man?
Hanging in there.
Good.
Mm,
We're all hanging in there, man. We're all a little bit
uh-huh.
sick.
Dude, is everyone like sick right now?
Pretty much.
Sucks. What the heck?
Dude, I get sick like once a year. This year, I've been sick 3 times so far. It's insane.
Yeah. No, I just had like a sore throat. That's it though. Like it's not that bad, but I just had a sore throat, like the sniffles, I guess. But other than that, the only thing that's been going on me this year is like, dude, my skin just keeps like breaking out in these like weird reactions and shit, man. I don't know
Hmm.
what that's all about, but
I remember that you had like a pink. Your entire body was like pink at one point.
dude, yeah. So that didn't happen again, but now I have like these spots all over my like back, and I'm like, dude, what is going on with my skin, bro? Like, it's just so annoying. It's like, I don't know. I think it's some like fungus disease. I'm like, oh man, like,
It's gross. Um, Guys, let's go ahead and let's get started today. Let's see here. So who do we got first? Camilo. Question.
So, just I want you just doing research for chiropractors. I have a meeting with my chiropractor at 6:30. I'm gonna talk to him and just pick his brain. I've been doing research about different marketing agencies for chiropractors, and I found one that it's called Elevate Marketing, and it looks like those are the guys who do like pretty much every single 100% chiropractic. So it's a good agency. They have a pretty simple funnel. It goes to a calendar, but everything is like testimonials. So it's like lots of chiropractors saying these guys are the best. I love their system, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's like they run ads, and then people will go to a funnel, and then they help them. They nurture all those leads until they book them and they put them in the calendar for their chiropractor. So um, yeah, that's about
Um,
it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's about it. So just doing research, and that's what I found. It's like I said, it's a pretty simple funnel. The landing page is just they get on a calendar. Hundreds of chiropractors have used our system, and it's only $397 a month. I don't know if there's anything else after that, or that's just what they charge, but they just do it in volume.
Um, yeah. Okay. So first of all, have you ever worked with a chiropractor, like video content?
I work with a 100% chiropractor.
Okay. Do you think it's at all possible to create some kind of a video testimony type of deal by, mid next week? You can like you don't necessarily
So
need to hop on
with
and
her, I don't think so. With her, I mean, I can ask her. I haven't talked to her in about a year, but she was not the most responsive or most professional person I've worked with. So I mean, I can try it, but I know she probably uses that Elevate marketing agency. So I don't know how she would feel about showing a testimonial for me when I'm not doing her ads. I'm not that close with her. I don't.
you don't necessarily need the testimonial. You don't need her to praise and say a bunch of stuff. Editing is just a matter of taking the truth and bending it to tell the story you want to tell, as you know. So if you can get her on a call and just get her to say certain things, then you can cut that up and do what you need to do with it to get people into your funnel. That's why I'm bringing that up.
Okay, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
it's not,
Okay,
You don't need to hop on and be like, hey, I need a testimonial. Just be like, hey, look, I'm doing this thing. I'm growing this thing. I'd love to hop on a really quick podcast. In exchange, I'm willing to come out there and create some content, give it to you, give it to your agency. Something as simple as that, just to help you get the content. Is that, if that makes
Yeah,
sense?
okay, sounds good. As a matter of fact, I texted her before the meeting. I was like, hey, I don't know if that was a good thing now that you're saying this, but I was like, hey, are you using this agency? Because all the ads, all the copy that I saw for all the other clients that they have on their website, it's the same copy as she has on her ads.
Okay, it's probably the same. And
Yeah,
so what you want to do, and again, I'm just telling you again, just like that video, I'm going to just tell you what is how to win. I'm not telling you whether ethical, not ethical, politically correct. One of the things that you can do is you can use verbiage in there like, hey, so can you talk to me really quick in terms of like what is the best creative that's been working for you? Hey, can you talk to me your cost per lead? Can you talk to me about how the system that you have right now is getting people in through the door? Da 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 da. Right? At the end of the day, you get that content, you get that launch, it's going to do enough for you to get some people through the door, close a few deals, swap out the ad, right? Just to kind of help you get the momentum going. That's something you can do, as well as the chiropractor that you're about to have a conversation with right now. Same kind of logic. Again, you can do what you need to do to get those bite pieces that you can run the ads with.
sounds good. And that chiropractor that I'm gonna meet to at 6:30 is my, like I said, it's my chiropractor, and he's in my BNI group, so he might be willing to and just shoot a testimonial for me, even
Okay.
if I haven't worked with him. He's a cool guy, so
Yeah.
I'll
Do
ask him.
you know if he runs ads?
He hasn't. He
Okay.
hasn't.
And
He's in. I mean, he's, I don't know how old he is, probably 50, late 50s, and he's just referrals, testimonials, BNI referrals. That's all he gets.
okay, cool. And you can talk to him about that. Actually, like, do talk to him. Like, get as much as you can from him. You never know what you can use to put into edit. You can take the content with you asking him questions, him answering. You can do, you can sneak in talking head part where the camera's just looking at you and you're asking a question. It looks like it's part of the same interview. There's so many different things you can do. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? So
Yeah,
hop,
yeah, it does.
ask a bunch of questions, and then in the post, we can mess around, do what we need to do to tell the story that we need to tell for the ad.
Okay, sounds good.
So obviously, as you know, just based off what I'm saying, obviously record it, get your camera live at like as I'm having this conversation, I'm recording myself, multiple things, so you can have that for the edit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask him, see if he's willing to um shoot a video for me, even saying something that we haven't done. Would that be cool?
So there's two. So you're what is so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to the one of the birds I'm trying to kill for you right now is just getting your calendar booked,
Hmm.
right? That's the problem to solve. Um, the problem that you're trying to solve is what? What do you think it is that you're trying to solve? It's the same thing, but like basically the market research is like you're asking questions like, hey, what is the headline should be? What is the offer should be? What would the offer be that gets you to click and book a call? But you're already telling me, Camille, that you've already done the research. You already see these Elevate marketing guys. You already know what kind of
Hmm.
funnel works. You already know what offer works. Like you should pretty much be modeling those guys to a T, to the point where
Okay.
you almost don't even need research, honestly. If
Yeah.
you based off what you've already found out, you just create what they did in your own voice, in your own colors, in your own language, and that's going to give you enough momentum that you can get started, get a few clients, and then you can revamp your marketing down the road.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was looking at your video. It says like fake it till make it, get the results, and then revamp.
mhm.
Yeah.
So, what your question was like, should you get testimonial and stuff like that? Honestly, what I would do, my priority would just be like, how can I record content so that I can run some ads, have some content within a funnel? That would be my primary focus. And then the second question I would be asking is, um, if you can ask additional content to help you with your marketing, like do that as well. And so I mean by that is like you can still go and ask them like, okay, here's a little bit of information. Here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to scale up our agency. Out of these four offers, which one of those would you want? So obviously you wouldn't put that into your ad, but you can
Yeah,
let
yeah, yeah.
information for yourself. So those are the two birds I would be killing. So bird one is try to get content that's going to help you model what you know that works, and then two, ask questions so that you can reinvent the wheel yourself.
Okay.
Um, questions, thoughts. So it's not necessarily, so I don't really care. So it's like, it's not super important to get the testimonial is what I'm saying. It's not super important, I don't think, because you're
Okay.
pretty much already getting it on this call. Um, What you could do is you could offer like a free trial or something. You could do that. You could like that's a much better move in my opinion, is for you to get him on board, work with him, run some ads, get some results for him, just to get your feet wet. Like I think that's actually a better move than, and then out of that you can position away and say, hey, look, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow our agency. I'd love to potentially do something like this for you. All I'd ask in exchange is to create some kind of testimony or interview after we're done. So now you kill two birds with one stone. You get the practice
Yeah.
in and you get the testimonial in.
And this guy, he used to be, I don't know if that matters, but he used to be the president for the Georgia Chiropractors Association or something like that. So he knows a
Dude,
lot of chiros.
yeah, that's awesome. And I would be
Yeah.
picking his brain, man. Like maybe not on this call, but like, definitely I'd be picking his brain, learning more about those different other marketing channels, those other ways that he is getting leads and sales, because you can implement that when it comes to your chiropractor clients as well. Not just running ads, you're helping them with all these other things as well.
Sounds
The
good.
P&I networking and this, all that stuff.
Cool.
Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
No, that's all I had.
Okay.
Work with this guy and see how it goes.
Okay. How are you feeling about stuff overall?
Feeling good. I mean, like I said, like I've told you, there's a lot of things happening. The office getting flooded. I'm now gonna have an office for a month. This is gonna be under construction. So they moved me into a new office and the Wi-Fi sucks and there's all these things going on, but I'm just trying to, get things done, get
Mhm.
things moving and like you said, get some momentum and just go from there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you filling me in on what's happened at the office, and just keep me posted. Just let me know. And as long as I know, bro, like I'll work with you and we'll figure
Yeah,
stuff out. Sure.
sounds good. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Thank
Um,
you. I saw your message and it's like, I'm gonna review it. Appreciate that.
Got you.
Thank
cool.
you.
All right, Camille, if you need anything else, let us know, okay?
All right, I will. Thank you.
Yep. Who do we got next? MJ. How are things going?
Going okay. So I think like yesterday I got like 3 discovery calls booked. I think, yeah, that was kind of like overnight success. Um, I followed up with one. It feels like a dead end. The number isn't going through. I also sent some message. I tried to call, but it's not going through. So I've updated that. The second one I had today. I did actually get to speak with somebody. I wasn't able to push it to a sales call. I think they kind of had cold feet. I had a bit of like resist. Okay. So, because I've been like prepping on my questions with what, Aman had sent over my way to, and so I'm trying to use it and fine tune it in my own way. So I think I'd asked them if they sell packages or so. And there was like a bit of resistance with that because they didn't believe in selling packages, or whatever have you, right? And so I'm kind of letting them know that that's also what we do with our system too, being able to do that and whatnot. So I walked them through the questions I had and hoping I could, push it over to a sales call. And I think they gave me a generic answer of traveling and not sure when they are back in August or what have you, and that they'll reach out to me when they get to that point. So I didn't push further with that one, but I have one more that is happening this evening. They confirmed for that exact time. So they couldn't, speak with me earlier. So I'm gonna speak with them literally after this call. So
Okay.
that's how things are going right now.
Good. So just to make sure I understand correctly, we've got 4 people that have booked a call. One of those was like a fake number or landline or something, couldn't get through. One person you had a conversation, did not push that to a sales call. Have another person that you're having a conversation with soon.
Yeah. And the very first person was the agency that I wasn't, yeah.
So okay, not too shabby. I mean, the numbers are pretty healthy. Things look good overall. Um, mm, do you have the call pulled up by any chance? Please, also please update these. Right now is more than ever is important to update these your calls, so I can have a look and kind of
Yes.
figure out what's going on. Is that the call actually?
Yes, that's the call.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
I,
that's
okay.
yeah.
Oh no. Um. mm,
Okay. Then maybe I have to check the link.
So yeah. I think I know what you did. Um.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know what you did. If you want to throw that in there, update it.
Okay. I'll
Just-
update it. I did have two questions I
yes.
thinking about today still as well. The first piece was actually like the recorded calls. I don't know if this is off topic ish. When we record our calls with the potential clients and whatnot, are we supposed to give like a heads up that the call is being recorded, for I don't know what quality assurance purposes or what have you?
Don't worry about it.
No, okay, because because I was talking with my family, like my cousin specifically. Usually like just family meeting, we're just gisting and having conversations about okay, what I'm doing and things like that. I know everyone around me keeps saying like I have to do that because whatever, like it's
Here,
illegal or what have you.
here's how to do it. Here's how to do it. Some people are crazy. Look, I've done some crazy stuff. I've never got in trouble. I'm not necessarily saying follow me, but I've gotten away with some crazy stuff. So what I'll tell you is that this stuff does not matter. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. No one will find, nobody will care. Here's how you do it the right way, okay? If you say, hey, this is being recorded, whatever, for quality purposes, right away, you're gonna put somebody, you're gonna hurt your chances
Yeah.
of pushing them
Yeah.
forward. So don't do that. What you
Yeah.
do is you wait all the way until you're onboarding. Okay. So you have your discovery call, you have your sales call, you have your onboarding. Literally at the end of your onboarding, right before you're about to end the call, you say, hey, really quick, also, just so you know, we do record all of our all the content for training and marketing purposes. Just want to go over this with you really quick so I'm not bothering you later. Do we have your consent? They always say yeah at that point. Then you're good to go. So that's how you want to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I figured because I told them the exact same thing. I'm like, it will cause friction, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
And we had this, back and forth. I'm like, I'm good, guys. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna record the calls to them, the thing, right? So it was this whole, family debate. So I just thought I ask what you guys actually do, because anyways. But yeah, I think that makes sense. And the second question I had was. So say like so this is on the pricing side of things, right? So say I want to do at least start with like a $3,000 paid in full with a client. If I expect a client to spend at least 1,000 a month, right? So I think okay, paid in full for 3 months, 3,000. And if I expect a client to be able to spend ads for about $1,000 monthly, is what, I'm also pitching to them as well to be able to do. Where would my margins be within that if I was, doing 3K a month and I'm encouraging them to have, at least $1,000 in ad spend, which means obviously like 1,000, each month, and I charge them 3K. What's my margins within that? How does that work? Shouldn't I be like charging more? I don't know, but how are we thinking about that?
So Aman knows all these details, and so let's wait for him to hop in, and then we can confirm with him. I do see his Excel sheet, so I see his number. So he just closed a $3,000 paid in full, literally as we're speaking, like 2 days ago. And I know for sure that $3,000 is going directly into his bank account. And that's what he's using for his service fee. So the way when he hops in here, we can ask him how he positions it. But I'm pretty sure when you position it, I'm 99% sure your position is two separate things. So when they say, hey, what's it going to cost to move forward? You're saying, hey, look, our service fee is this, it's this amount, or if you want to pay in full in advance, it's this. And then I'm pretty sure somewhere before that, he's saying, hey, look, in order to work together, our recommendation is that you need to be able to spend at least $30 per day on that. So you put that somewhere, most likely in the discovery call, probably not even there, probably somewhere in the sales call, is you're putting that in there, and you're just you're talking about like two completely separate different things. And most of these medical spas, because they have work with other agencies and or they're running ads themselves, have tried it. This isn't something that's foreign to them versus some other niches where they need to understand there's a difference between the agency fee and the ad spend. Most medical spa owners understand that there's a difference. There's your fee and there's that. But again, let's wait for Aman to come in here. We can kind of specifically ask him.
Okay, yeah. Because I actually had that question based on his sales call. And I guess the way that you're saying it to me right now is that they're different. And so the 3,000 is solely his service fee for it, and they will cover their ad spend separately for 1,000 a month. So ultimately that kind of maybe paying maybe 5,000 in total, you know, for like 3 months. No, sorry, it's 6,000 in total for 3 months. It's kind of like, yeah, so okay. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll hang out and see if I could ask him directly and see how that works.
I mean, also we could also like, I mean, Tony and Adam, we can ask Tony real quick, you know, how he positions it. Like Tony, how do you position the ad spend versus like your service fee?
I think some months we win and some months we don't win is how it seems to work. Or some clients, like their ad spend works better than others, right? So if we did like $1,000 fee and a $500 ad spend, sometimes we're spending like 900 of that, and sometimes we're barely even spending 400 of that. Just depends on like what the results are. So some we profit on a lot, and some we nearly break even on.
So the way you do your selling, Tony, you're saying that you position your pricing as like, hey, this is your overall marketing fee. You don't necessarily break it down in terms of your fee versus ads when you're saying, hey, it's $4,000 for 3 months. That's what you're saying.
No, I allude to like, I think our first pitch is like 25.53, and that's like 12.50 ad spend, 12.50 our fee, or $1,000 fee and a $500 ad spend. So we do kind of break it down.
So you tell them, hey, look, here's the fee, here's what the marketing budget is, and out of that, here's what we're going to be using towards ad spend for you. Gotcha. And then they're sending you the total amount, and then out of that, you're basically okay. Gotcha. That makes sense as well.
And some some are doing great and we're making money on, and some are like we're basically breaking even to try to keep the client for whatever reason we have, right?
That makes sense. So yeah, MJ, I've heard of both cases, like what Tony and Adam are doing, as well as Aman's case. Aman I'm 99% sure he just asked for the service fee, and then he uses their ad account, their everything to run the ads.
Okay. Yeah.
What was your so those are that did you have other questions, or were you?
No, yeah, it was just those really, and just wanting to know, I guess, what that would look like for me in terms of the pricing of it. I think right now for me, again, like, you know, you send me that voice note, it's kind of like down to my numbers game now, getting like those reps in as much as I can. And I'm also trying to spend the remaining time building out what my sales demo might look like. I was pretty impressed with Aman's. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm like, what does that look like for me? That's one that ain't got none of these histories to, pull back off of. So, yeah, so I have to just create something with what, Mason gave me and what he has as well, and see if I can put something together for myself for a start, and then hopefully make it better as time goes on.
Did he send you any of his sales calls?
Like one of them, that was the one I had watched today. So that's one I'm currently referencing right now. So yeah, I have one discovery call, one sales call for the same person. So the person that he spoke on discovery call, and the sales call he had for that same client as well.
Oh, so he had a discovery call, and you have a discovery call with the same person?
Oh no, it's like he sent me a link.
Oh, okay.
The discovery call that he had with the client and the sales call that he had with that same client that he pushed over to a sales call. Yeah.
Was it a close or was it not a close?
It wasn't a I don't know. It wasn't a close, like it wasn't a close on the call, because she was mentioning that she wanted her husband to be right there as well, to be able to finalize with her, because he left in the middle because he had to go for a chiropractic thing, and she was like, yeah, I want him to be here. You didn't schedule the call the same time that we are together. So please can we, schedule it out when he's here too, so we can move forward with you. So yeah, I don't know if he ended up closing on that one.
Let's go to Sheila.
Where did you, so look at your call again, I'm probably not going to run through the whole thing. These typically take, a 15-minute call will take me probably like 2 hours to run through.
Mhm.
Really quick, I mean, where is the part where you feel like things started to kind of like fall through, in your opinion?
I think I had a bit of, I wrote it in my thing before I forget. Let me actually see what I wrote.
Particularly, if particularly you have someone coming in that has needs, right? And depending on what experience your service, especially if you're outstanding, you have a great brand, you have an excellent service, right? And then figuring out what the needs of that customer or that client is, so that you can offer something that solves that problem. At the end of the day, as you know, across the year, we'll get into that a little bit in the discussion. And you're able to offer a solution where they have more value. People will stop buying from you if you piss them off, and you don't sound like the kind of person that will piss somebody off, right? Hopefully, I'm right about that. But hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was one of the places. Because she was asking, it was about the packages thing when she said that she doesn't. So I was trying to see if I could convince her that would be a good thing to do. So that part. And as well as when she also asked about costing too, I came back to that price question.
And there are bad ways to do it, right? Oh yeah, perfect. That was literally going to be my next question because I wanted.
I see. Okay, so it's hard. So I think, so one thing we're gonna want to do is like have a look at the settings so that I can be able to actually hear, because I need to be able to hear the tonality and the way they're saying, or else I can't give you proper advice. Because it's hard. I can see what you're saying, but I can't see how she's taking it in.
Okay,
Let's
you
find out,
can't hear her end, right? Is she audible?
offer. So it sounded to me like I heard.
No.
Did you say Oxygeneo? Okay, yeah,
That's
those
weird. Okay, see, that's weird.
like services.
I
did you say
share the Loom video, the entire screen, and I clicked on share audio from my system as well. The fact that didn't come in is very annoying.
Oxygeneo?
Hey MJ, I had that issue too. Were you using AirPods?
No,
Okay.
I was actually like, it was right
Yeah.
from my laptop speakers. I had no headphones on it.
Those
I
sound
have headphones on it.
services, those are services that we do help with too as well. So because technically like medical spas
Can I
offer a
try?
lot of things, right?
I'm gonna try with this call right now and see if I can test it out.
Yeah, test it out.
I did record it separately on my phone just for my own purpose, just in case something went, weird, but I'll also test it out here too.
Test it with like, because you made the phone call through Go High Level. Try to do it without going through Go High Level and see if it makes a difference. That's what like is curious. I'm curious about it.
Try to do it without Go High Level?
Yeah, so like you made the call in Go High Level. So I'm
Yes.
wondering if maybe that's the case. But I think somewhere in Go High Level the call should be recorded somewhere.
It'll be fine. I know for sure it'll be fine because I used to do this all the time. I went to Go High Level and I call the number from there and I use Loom and I have a bunch of them recorded where I can hear everything. So I know it's just one of the settings. It's just you gotta tinker around with one of them. I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
And yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to be short. I just think that it's something you just mess around with and you'll get.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, that's okay.
So, but yeah, and then so for the next one, I'll try to have a look and kind of see if I can point. Essentially, what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of just like hear your thoughts. I wanted to kind of hear you tell me like, okay, Kaushik, here's what I think is actually going on. That's what I think is important because like when it comes to these sales things, a big part of it is like you do the thing, but then you have to really step back and like look at yourself interacting with this person and try to be like, okay, they said this, but what does this really mean? It's always what the hidden meaning is and what's actually going on. And so I just wanted to maybe see if we could do a little bit of that exercise.
Yeah, for sure.
That's okay.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see with the next one.
Yeah,
What else?
at least this one, I would be, because I don't have, my personal laptop broke down. I think it's almost a year now. So I use my, if I can, I use my work laptop if I can in those moments. Or I'm just running around with two phones and doing stuff. But this second one, at least I'm gonna be on my desktop, so I will not have that issue. I never have that issue on my desktop at all because I have Loom downloaded locally on my device. I currently use Loom through the browser on my work laptop because I can't download stuff on it because, security reasons or whatever. So I just use it through the browser. But yeah, I should be able to record this call for sure and not have that issue.
MJ, what else do you want to go over today?
Yeah, so far so good for me.
Are you following Amon's script for the discovery call? Is that what you did last time?
Yes, that's what I use for this one. Yeah, I wrote it down into my own software. So I'm using his script.
Cool. Anything else that you want to go over today, MJ?
I think I'm okay. I'm okay for now.
Let's see. Well, if you have to get going, I understand. Or if you can hang out, we'll see when
Yeah.
I'm going to come and kind of cross-reference some of those things that you mentioned and kind of get his perspective as well.
Yeah, I'll probably be around for like the next hour or so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who do we have next? So Amon, Riviera. Okay, Riviera, what's going on, man? So I know I wrote a bunch of stuff your way, nothing necessarily. It's a bunch of good news. Hope it doesn't sound like doom and gloom. It's just the reality, and well, I wouldn't say it's the reality, but it's my truth from what I've learned over the years. But yeah, what's going on, man?
Actually, good news. The doctor actually liked my last text, follow-up text, and she says she's gonna pay tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I hit her with kind of like an urgency kind of text. But yeah, so hopefully it goes through. I mean, we obviously still have to wait, but I mean, she seemed she liked it, and I just sent her a screenshot of like, so what I do for marketing purposes, sometimes I have kind of like, how you could get internal notifications when like you get a lead or whatever. I have that set up for one of my clients who gets like really good results, Dr. Lisa. So on my phone, it'll show me when leads like opt in saying, hey, somebody claimed the Invisalign offer, right? So she got a lot this morning, like 3 of them, right? So I just screenshot that and I sent, hey, Dr. Taj, I wanted to see if getting high ticket leads on your phone daily like this is still a priority for you. We're moving away from our $1,000 monthly pricing to $1,497 a month. So I just want to make sure I can lock you in at that $997. Basically a $1,000 package while it's still available. Please let me know by end of day. And yeah, she liked it. She said, sorry, I've been out of town due to vacation. I'll take care of payment tomorrow.
Nice.
But it's been a week, where she kind of just ghosted. So I just assumed, oh, she's probably got cold feet or whatever. But I just hit her with that text just to see, like, hey, let's just see what happens. Like, let me show her like the results like another client's getting through like a screen grab, and do a Hail Mary, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, she has the Square payment sent to her, so she just has to pay it. But
What did she like? She liked the message or she liked the image?
she liked the message, but she definitely saw the image it went through. So
And what all did you message her before? Like if you just really quickly like run through your phone, like how many messages you send her, just a quick maybe just
probably 2 other times or 3 other times, and it was just through Square because Square lets you do reminders, right? And then I would just send reminders without saying anything really. It would just be like a new reminder, from Square. The only time I ever sent her anything with text was via email, which I know she doesn't. She says she kind of hardly looks at her email, so I don't. And I do need to install an email tracker, but something along the same lines, just short. But this time was kind of like me going, heavy-handed in terms of urgency, just because I felt like the other times were just kind of reminders without any type of like, consequences. So this one was more of like, hey, I want to make sure you get in before we start raising prices, right? And all that stuff. So
sales call. It was basically a sales call, sending her the link. she got an email which was like manual, but like it's you. It's not like
Mhm.
it's email. And then from there she gets a few Square or Stripe updates or whatever. No text message, no nothing leading up until, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
And then this one I hit her with like a more of a text saying like, here is this is getting these type of leads still a priority for you? And also just to let you know, and then I kind of give her the pricing, the details on where that's going. Just so she doesn't think like she can just ghost for like 3 months and then hit me back up and then expect that pricing, which has happened before in other clients. So I just wanted to, make sure, I just update her on that. So,
So,
but
so this will be something that you just got to be like really aggressive about, Daniel, because I'm noticing this with you, your last two clients, same thing is like that becomes a big issue for you where you get them, shakes them down, all this stuff, and it's going to be very,
yeah.
we're going to have to build a very tight SOP. Like if you look at my sales call script, I know you're still going through a training, but literally one of the things I say is, okay, so here's what the rest of the call is going to look like. You're going to give me a hell yeah, hell no. Then we're going to end up on this page. You're going to actually transact. So I literally tell them what is going to happen. So these are the kinds of small micro details that you're going to have to really button up in your process. And then on top of that, like even the onboarding, right? Like I'm looking at this client right now and I'm like, well, shit, what's the onboarding going to look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to chase her down, and all this stuff. So.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't have a process, and some things that I feel like is common sense to a lot of salespeople, I'm just starting to realize isn't common sense to me. So, so I'm just like learning as I go. But yeah, for sure. I mean, this is definitely a learning lesson in the fact that it's to set better expectations to kind of prime them for that to happen, right? For a payment to be after the call, right? So it's just things that I for sure don't want to go through again. So, because it easily went the other way where she just ghosted right fully. So I totally see that could have been the case, right? So yeah, I think just collecting payment at the end. I already have them so hyped up. I have them so like ready that it just doesn't make sense to send them an email or something for them to pay on or whatever after the fact. Like get them while they're hot, and these are things I know, but it's just like one of those things like when it's like out of my new normal procedure, like, or I'm just doing things in a new way that sometimes I forget some common like things that I've done in the past. It's kind of weird, but if I come at it from a different angle, doing a different like to get to that point, sometimes I forget just because I'm doing things in a new steps. I'm stepping in a new way. So, but for sure, like this has definitely taught me like, get them while they're hot, get them while they're happy and excited and pumped. Because usually by the time at the end of the call and I have verbally closed them, like they're pumped, they're ready to go. It's like they wouldn't be on a second call if they weren't. So for sure, going to capitalize that for future sake.
What we're gonna do, Daniel, is the moment you're done with the training, I don't know if maybe I wasn't clear about this, or yeah, maybe I just didn't give enough directions. But it's just right now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for you to get through the training. Once you get through the training, what I'd like for you to do is based off of that training and based off of and you might want to write this down because I feel like his stuff would be really good for you is what's his name? The guy I sent you to watch, the Hell Yeah, Hell No guy. He's very chiropractors, like his script would work very well for you, I think, as well. So like I would, again, I would look at his script and then I would look at what you're going through right now and then ensuring that whatever you've got typed up is going to hit those 7 buyer beliefs, all that good stuff. And once that's done, if you want to send me a Loom video and be like, okay, here's what I'm going over, here's what I'm going over why, basically very similar to the video that I created. That's at the bottom of that page. So your own rendition of it. And then from there, I will have a look at it. I'll tweak it, send it over your way, and then we can start with that for your future sales calls.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I should be done with it tomorrow. It's just a lot. I am 2xing the speed, but it is a lot because like you said, I just never went through it, but I should be done by tomorrow if I had to estimate.
Okay, fair enough. I know it's a lot.
But I'm trying to think of anything else. But yeah, I saw your other replies and stuff, so I'll definitely take a look into what Mason showed as well. But yeah, overall saw that. Trying Trying to think of any other questions I have.
More variations of creatives, more hooks, small little things where you maybe have a talking head part, like, hey, meet this dentist who went from this to this, and then it shows you guys interacting. Like a bunch of those kinds of variations is what I would be doing for creatives. And it could be a thing where it just got a little bit quiet, man. It could be a thing where it just got a little bit quiet.
But yeah, I mean, more stuff in the funnel is always good, so I could definitely work on that. Yeah, I wasn't to answer your question, I haven't set up a warm middle funnel yet.
You can do that.
Sometimes I try that with clients myself, and sometimes I'll try to make the custom audience for it, and they'll say, oh, we don't have enough data, for it to work, but I'll give it a shot on mine. Maybe I've had enough watch time, people have done enough watch time to like put in like, what would you say is like a good one, like 50% watch time, 75% watch time?
So in terms of just retargeting it, you can just do anybody that's watched at least 25% of your video all the way through. That could be one of the custom audiences, and other audiences, the people that have visited the calendar. Oh, that was gonna be my other thing. Yeah, watch 25%. Watch 25%. That could be a good 25% in the last 90 days, just to broaden it up. Another thing I was going to bring up is, did we, I know we tried so many different things. Did we find people that were going through the calendar page, or no, not at all?
Oh, did we find people going through the calendar page? Yeah, most people who actually became leads booked. There was actually fewer that actually were just leads themselves. So there's more people actually becoming a lead, and then they obviously they put in the Facebook form, they fill out the kind of standard Facebook form, kind of autofills for them. That gets sent, then I get notified there's a lead, and then usually like 2 to 3 minutes later, they booked into the calendar somewhere with a time slot. I would say more so that happened like 80% of the time. The 20% were just leads where I had to actually like do some more following up with them and stuff, because they just never put in booked a time or a slot. But for the most part, when I got those leads, they were just yeah, they booked times, and usually it was like pretty like in 30 minutes, it's like, which kind of like, I wasn't used to it working, right? So I was like, oh shit, like I have to drop everything I'm doing and get on this call. Which was cool and exciting. But yeah, so they were doing that a lot. I'd say more times than not, they would book pretty immediately, like they want to talk to me soon, within like 30 minutes. Or sometimes I get some guys like in 2 days, but usually it's within 30 minutes or maybe the next morning or something. But yeah, that's what I kind of saw with these guys. Most people booked through the calendar.
Okay.
But they were kind of more cold, but the people that booked through the appointment, they seem more warm.
Okay. So here's what I was
I hope that's what you're asking for.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that. So that's good to know that, these are people that are actually going to go through lead form and actually book a call. That's very interesting, because most people, as you know, don't through lead forms. What I was saying is, like, right now, like, priority, I mean, you have 2 priorities. One priority is like obviously like dialing in your discovery call, your sales call, but like if you are going to convert this lady, right, if that stuff work, well, then that means, like, I mean, it's not terrible, right? Like our sales or discovery call, like you just bare bones, or if you're able to close, then okay, we're good, man, and it's just gonna be cloud 9. And so after we go to the sales training, revamp your stuff, like it's just going to be so much better. But the immediate problem that you have right now, the immediate problem that we need to solve for, is getting these consistent book calls. And so like that's the red alert, that's the fire, that's the thing that business is going to implode if we don't fix that ASAP. And so we should definitely, like I said, like more creatives, more hooks. But then the other thing is like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it's worth at least maybe potentially throwing out, which is like having your ad go to the counter page directly instead of being a lead form ad. That's what I was asking. Because remember when we were running ads directly to your calendar page, I was asking whether that was working or not. And so it's like, it's worth at least testing, because the variable that's different this time around is like it's a different type of creative, and maybe that causes maybe that impacts thing. I don't know. I'm not telling you that I 110% believe or I feel even strongly that that's going to be a solution, but it's worth testing out because again, you're basically underneath water and you don't have oxygen. We need to test stuff out and fast.
Yeah.
And it does work, well then great. Now we've got some secret sauce that these other agencies aren't doing, but it's worth testing.
Yeah, worth testing out. Flesh it out for sure. But could you actually repeat back that to me? I think I know what you're saying, but if you repeat it back, I think I'll get it more. Like in terms of the ad.
Yeah. So basically, we have your lead form ad. That's what this hand represents. And so what we need to do here is just test out various different types of creatives, different hooks, different cut up that testimonial video a different way. Have one where you talking head video really quick, like, hey, meet this dentist who had this result, and then it cuts right away to you guys talking. Whatever, just a bunch of different creatives.
Yeah.
When it comes to cop, we don't really need to mess around with that. Creative, that's that. And what I'm saying, this is your calendar funnel, the initial funnel that we created. And so what we can do is that winning creative, the one that's gotten you the leads, and we can drive traffic to your calendar page as opposed to doing lead form, and we can just see what happens. This may be absolutely nothing, or it may be something and surprise us, but it's worth
to at least use a winning creative on a different like back end system, like a different way of getting them. No, that's smart. Yeah, I totally want to test that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, let's just see what happens. I'm not, and again, just to be, I'm not necessarily saying that I have high hopes for this. I want to be fully transparent. I don't want to be with like, oh my God, this thing's gonna work. And the reason for that is why is because everything we've seen has been lead form so far. We haven't really seen going on a calendar page. I have seen it, but not very light. Like that's not most of what we've seen is this. But it's still worth testing. Let's just see what the heck happens, just to rule it out.
Yeah, just to cross our T's and all that for sure. Yeah, for sure. I want to definitely put this on the to-do list for sure. And yeah, so basically number one acquisition channel back pumping through getting that winning creative on that our old booking page.
Yep.
Is there anything else like you would say like other than that is like something I should be concerned about or working on?
No, main thing is that, man, like that's priority number one. Priority number one is let's get this thing work, let's that's it. There's nothing else in terms of priority number one.
Yeah, I mean it got a lot of real dentists, so I feel like if we just keep messing with it, we'll hit another pocket. Like I feel like if it resonated with so many different dentists, there's probably some other dentists that feel the some or would resonate with it as well. Maybe they're just not seeing it or whatever, but so I got to go tinker, right?
I think it's just tinkering. I mean, we have proof of concept. We have enough people that have gone through and the close.
Cool.
Riviera, the Wi-Fi is a little bit challenging, so we're like super lagging back and forth. Were there other questions or other things you wanted to go through?
Yeah, I noticed. No, but yeah, I could probably stick around for another hour.
Okay, sounds good. If you have questions,
I'll probably be here for another hour until I have a call with the client, but yeah, thank you.
Cool. So I think next we had Aman. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much. Surprisingly, have been getting good amount leads recently. I feel like it's the same ads, same everything, and I think I just upped it like literally $5 or something. I feel like so many more leads. At least that's what it feels like. But I have 3 sales calls in the next 2 days, so looking forward to that.
It's been a while since I've had a look. What's your cost per book call? Last time I checked, it was around $30. Is it still around there or?
Yeah, it was. I feel like it went up to like 70 at one point, and then now it's back down to 30. So, yeah, looking pretty solid right now. And yeah, I was just updating it. But as far as the current client, so she's really good. I'm building out her campaign. So did you see what I was mentioning about the semaglutide one?
Yeah. So is this the new person, the one that you just did the paid in full? She's the one that wanted to do semaglutide?
Correct. Yeah. And it's really great because for the first time I actually like, I don't know why I never thought of this before, but I actually got access to her booking software. And so I was like doing like a report, or I was, kind of pulling the information and seeing like from the leads, how many of these leads like showed up for in person. And like, she was saying like, oh yeah, like, we're doing so great with like the semaglutide, we're selling these high ticket packages. So I like pulling it up, and we come to find that it was mainly all referrals, and that it was only one lead from her last marketing guy who got her that. But like just the fact that I was able to pull that and like see the numbers is just like feels like a superpower, honestly. um
Can you show like screenshot or share that with me so I can see kind of like what you're seeing, or unless you have
yeah,
like that'd be cool to see as well.
yeah, see if I can pull it up real quick, because and then I was like basically downloading those reports and putting into like Chat GPT, so that um I can say like how many of these people showed up here, and I was like kind of cross-checking too. But let me pull it up. Okay, so where'd you go? Oh, here we go. Share. Okay, you can see.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I can go by like services, and I can run a report. And then I can see like, okay, for the weight loss from a date range, I can go in here and just see how much, if it's on the bottom here, yeah, like how much people have spent. And you can like download all this. So I can look at like, if I want to search up a person, like a specific person, see how much they spent, I can do that. If I want to just look up like a service. So if we create like a new service for like the offer that we're going to run, then I can like go in there and just see how many people that got booked into that, how much it's made and stuff. And I can look up like the customer list. But yeah, that kind of helps.
Good stuff. Good stuff. This way, so what you're saying is like when you went into like the what's it called, the semaglutide, how are you able to see that the media buyer basically brought in one versus the other ones were referrals?
So the first thing I did was I downloaded, she gave me the list of leads. Let me pull it up here actually. So if I go to okay, so this was like here. So these were the leads.
Okay, gotcha. So you cross-reference and found that one within the one.
Yeah. And then she was also updating on Go High Level. So I was like, is this like all? So I looked in Go High Level and saw under like booked appointment, that was like the only one. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing. I basically put it into Chat GPT here. And was like, I put in like, you can put in like the files, and then was just like, hey, how many of the leads showed up under sales and what are their names? And then it basically pulled their name up here. And then it said, you can basically say like how much did they spend and whatnot.
Nice. It's really cool. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. And then so basically what I did was I basically just crunched that in, and then, for she spent like $700 on that. She got someone who paid $12.30, and then was able to see like cost per call, cost per booking, and stuff like that. So I'm hoping I can just kind of get into more of my clients' softwares, and just do the report at least in the beginning, just so I can, get better idea of numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna I'm basically going to, what's the thing for this? Oh no, don't share. Stop. Yeah, no, don't share this. Am I still sharing? Yeah, I am here. Okay, so Yeah, so I'll be taking on the semaglutide for the phone call. So what I'll probably do is maybe do the AI in the beginning just to get as many leads and just call them up myself because I at least know I can call them. And then since I don't know how the landing page looks for like the bullet points for like semaglutide, so I'm just gonna do what I know works as far as the ads, the lead form, and then do the AI. And then get on as many calls as I can and just try to like figure out the script and like how to get them booked in and stuff.
Okay. So are you doing ad to funnel or are you doing lead form ad?
I'm gonna do lead format just because I don't know what to write yet for meanwhile like the Botox I had like that copy for. Especially on the questions on the back end where they fill out, it'll be like different questions technically, like how much weight do you want to lose or something. So I think if I get on a bunch of calls, I can ask better qualifying questions on that form.
Okay. I think you said something about being excited about something. Let's see. The good thing, nice. So I guess like, what are you most excited about?
I
Just-
think yeah, I think like this one is probably gonna be the hardest one, just from like my experience of running this with clients. So it was like, yeah, the leads are like hanging up, or they're like asking about the monthly price right away, or they're just like very like stubborn, it seems. So yeah, for the semi-glutide. So I feel like if I can crack this and then she's profiting on the back end, she's very like very positive, very like communicative, very quick response. I haven't had seen any like red flags with her. So it's really just like, okay, if she's killing it, then I can learn a lot from her as well. So I think, if we download this campaign, it'll be really nice to roll it out to more people because everyone's kind of running, everyone like has a semi-glutide, or a lot of people do.
So why did she want to roll it out? And then what made you think to yourself, like, you know what, I think this is a really good idea, as opposed to, doing the 247 or 490 or 297 or anything else? Like, what made you, what do you think made her go, yeah, let's do this? And then what made you go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea?
So for her, it was more of like since it's summer, that one's just the most popular right now. And I think with Botox stuff, like being in the sun and whatnot, it's not really good for it. So I think, I mean, I do think it's like a year-long thing, but it's probably not as popular. But so it's kind of hard to just be like, oh, like let's run the Botox when she can, I guess, kind of gauge that Botox is doing the best, or semaglutide is doing the best right now. Um, and then two, I think for me, it's just the fact that I've tried running this quite a few times, and I know it gets really good cost per lead. It gets really good engagement. I just haven't cracked the back end, in terms of like the pricing and stuff and like how to get people through. So she seemed very like excited to explore more of that and like, um,
So she
different
wanted to run it.
bonuses.
So she wanted to run it because she feels like, based off of her knowledge within the industry and everything, like right now is a good time because people want to lose weight for the summer. And
Right.
you were excited because you ran it multiple times, and how many times would you say you've ran it?
Maybe 2 or 3.
2 or 3 different clients.
Yeah.
Do you know if anyone has sold a package on the back end?
So this one girl I took on for a trial once, I was like revisiting her papers, and luckily, or her KPI sheet, and luckily she updated. She got like 2 on a package for 400 a month, and then 1 on a 1 month package for I think like $300. Um, and that was with like maybe $400 of ad spend or maybe less. Um, and she was just like a one person. She had a full-time job too. So I think it's definitely possible. I think like the CY aesthetics, they were just really bad at like they wouldn't call themselves, they would just hire like a VA. And I was trying to work with a VA, but her calls were very like, a little off, it felt. And then who else wrote? Oh, Naida did it as well. So I feel like Naida would have been a little bit better at it. So that's why I kind of want to like see if I can crack it.
So what's the offer on the front end? It's $97 for what?
For their first shot, plus a B12 shot or something. And so basically you have to get it like in monthly packages. So a 1 month gets 4, and for her 1 month is like $540. So divide that by 4, it's like I think 130 or something. For a shot.
So basically the offer is, hey, for $97, you get a month, whereas a typical month is about $400. And so that's why people see the ad, they click on it, they're like, hell yeah.
No, at least from what I see, every time that I see a 97 for semaglutide, it's for the first shot. So
okay.
yeah, so they would be paying for the first shot, but I assume they would have to lock in that first package and then they'll just take away if it's 135 for a shot, then they can just take away that extra bit.
So basically the offer is like, hey, instead of spending $2,000 where it's $100 per shot that you're really gonna need if you want to feel this thing and sustain it, it's kind of like I'm giving you a trial. Like do one shot, see if you like the thing. And if you like the thing,
Yeah.
you're looking for $100 a shot every week for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of off topic, but have you ever done like a Groupon of like an offer like this?
Groupon?
Yeah.
Like for my clients or just to like look it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, no, like actually like for your clients.
No, I haven't done anything Groupon for them.
Hey, didn't you say that someone was doing something along the lines of that? They had some like super cool method of like upselling people.
I was sharing my experience. I went through a Groupon thing. I went through a Groupon. There's like a laser hair thing that I took up. It was like $50. I went in and I wanted to see the whole thing was about and how they did it. I used Groupon.
I'm just wondering if something along the lines of that would like actually work for him.
So the reason I'm getting at all these things is like as I'm listening to this, because I know about semaglutide, because I fucking did research on it, like a lot of research myself to see how it works. I didn't know what the pricing was. And I've seen people like create like YouTube content, like, hey, my insurance isn't doing this and I'm trying to get it here and da 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 da. There's so much shit. So like as you're saying this to me, like I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you like I have the solution because I don't, but like I know for sure, like just based off what I'm hearing, like, dude, this should be with a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease, with putting in a few reps, I think you're gonna be able to figure out how to sell a package because it's $100 a shot and they're fucking hooked on it for life. You can't just do this. I don't know how much you know about it, but you can't like do this thing and then like come off all the weight comes back. So like
Right.
I know for sure you can get them on a package, say, hey, look, bare minimum, you're gonna need 3 months for this all to kick in. So there's gotta be a way, like Lauren and Mason, like she's selling high ticket packages. Like this is a lot of like, hey, how do you feel about your weight? What is the thing that's caught, like all this stuff.
Right.
And then, dude, I feel like something else that can be sold with this is going to be like a fitness nutrition plan for sure. Like you can sell the shit out of this for sure.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Imagine if you can figure this out. Again, I'm thinking a little bit like this is a pretty big thought, but like let's say you figure out the script, get them to buy, whether it's the month, the weekly, the monthly, the 3-month package. And then if we have some kind of an online fitness program or something or nutrition thing that can be like you have like one person that like does all the plans for every single client.
Right.
So you have one person that's like a nutritionist or personal trainer, whatever, and every single 10 clients you get that you're running this semaglutide, they're running the plan for every single person. You have a full-time staff member, and there's no additional cost because it's like a digital thing.
Yeah. I remember the person I was doing a trial for, she was like, yeah, we can include like in the package as a bonus. It was like, we can include a diet plan. I think she was just gonna like ChatGPT or something like that, where it's just a digital, like just an incentive for them, but
Yeah. Telling you that should be like you should not make that as a thing to get them over the line, but rather
right.
upsell, a massive upsell.
Upsell. Got it. Yeah, I mean she's doing great as far as like the referrals she's got to upsell them. So she does like a 4-month package. So at 540 each, it was like a $2,200 package. And then she incentivizes it by they do a free body contouring they get free body contouring session if they do the 4 months locked in. And so yeah, I mean that's been working for her. Like I think if you saw the Vigaro, it was like $60,000 in sales from that alone. So I feel like, yeah, I just have to frame it in a way where people are like, "What's the full price?" Because I know that was a big thing on the phone. But if I can get people to like show up and at least experience the consultation, like really hype the consultation, hype that first, like rather than paying the 135 for a shot.
Who's gonna do the consultation?
She is my actual client. Yeah. Like
Okay.
the in person.
I almost feel like what could be done is, again, you get them in, you have a conversation with them. I could totally see like a fucking VSL working.
Right.
I could totally see like some kind of a VSL working where you really show, hey, here's what happens with this treatment. Here's what happens with traditional fat loss. Here's what happens with laser. Here's what happens with surgery. And here's why you ultimately need to do this thing, and get them super fucking buy into this thing. And then by the time they actually go into establishment, they're fucking excited because they've tried
Right.
all these different things to lose weight. And there's five, it's all, we position as like a magical pill.
Right.
Like whoever sells has to fucking be good. And it's almost to a point where like something that we can play around with is either have them do it or you fucking sell it over Zoom, bro.
Right.
It could be a thing where you sell it over Zoom for like $3,000.
Yeah, the only thing there is I know they have to have some like medical professor that like approves them of that. But unless it's again just like part of it's like a two-step instead of like,
You have to have a medical profession to do what exactly?
they have to like approve, they have to get approval to take the medicine.
So what, I mean, what's stopping you from you or us to close like on a 3K deal, and then they are onboarded to the actual business owner or somebody, some staff member, and the staff member takes care of what they need to take care of, prescription, doing whatever the fuck they need to do there.
Because if they do like a a whole test or whatever, then they don't qualify to be able to take it, then basically, they can't move forward. So I mean, unless we just refund them, if that's kind of what's in your mind.
Yeah, something like that. Because like what I'm saying is that like I could totally see a VSL working. I could totally see a fucking sales call working, selling high ticket. I see it. I can already see it. I know
Right.
for sure. I feel very confident. And fucking throwing in like, hey, look, also fucking we're gonna have a personal trainer assigned to you who's gonna do all your meal plans, everything. It's typically we charge $2,000. We're gonna get you a plan for $97 a week or a month. I don't know. Like I just know there's shit that can be fucking bolted on. Like I feel that confident in this.
I wonder, at least in the beginning when I started taking it, because I'm going to learn a lot about like what their pain points are, what questions they typically ask and stuff. I believe she's done virtual consults as well. So maybe I can like see if I can work with her to push more like virtual consultations and get recordings of that. Um, and then that way, it'll be easier for people from social media because again, it's more of an incentive for them to show up. It's a lot easier for them to show up to a virtual call, versus like showing up to a med spa. Like show up rates are obviously like a thing for med spas, right? And then she can maybe sell them like a high ticket thing there. But I don't know if like again, I'll have to talk to her and like see how open she is to like selling right there and then versus like having them to come in. But again, I have to kind of understand the process a little bit more through her.
It's not something that's going to be easy. Like what's brewing in my head, I know, like hopefully like my face and my body, my energy is telling you I've got a lot of conviction in this, but this is the kind of shit that takes like 6 months to figure out. So maybe
Right.
energy a little bit, we're like fucked because that's the
I
amount.
mean, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Is
I think
semaglutide kind of like Ozempic in a way, or
It is Ozempic, bro.
okay,
it is.
cool. I think a huge selling point of like that would be like people that are taking that, they're just looking for like a short-term solution to a problem, right? And I think that your upsell can kind of sell the point of like, hey, this is gonna help you lose weight, but once you get it off, we want to help you keep it off, so you don't ever have to come back to us again. Like that's the selling point, in my opinion.
The thing is, Ozempic, the way it works is you have to take it, and so when you take it, you lose literally 20% of your body weight. It's insane. You lose like 20% of your body weight. And here's the thing: the moment you stop taking it, it comes right back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that just seems like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like it
Fear
seems like
monger
it
the
works.
fuck out of people. You can fear monger the fuck out of people. You can fucking do some crazy shit, and that's what's going to cause the high ticket package. Like I see
Yeah.
I see the high ticket package because people are going to realize I have no choice but to stay on this thing. Like for example, hopping on testosterone replacement therapy, like literally what me and Rich were talking about the other day. It's a lifelong thing, but you can
Yeah.
sell money into like, hey, look, it's either this or it's surgery, it's all the diets and shit you've been doing, it's all this yo-yo shit. Both of these are permanent solutions. This is a much easier permanent solution. This is crying in a Lamborghini as opposed to crying in a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
So you can
Right.
sell them on that, get them bought in, and then you can supplement with like, hey, look, and then the personal training and the diet and all that comes in, because it's like, hey, you can lose weight, but if you lose a bunch of weight and you're going to look skinny fat. You don't want to look skinny fat. You want to have that hourglass figure. That's where working out comes in. That's where having the right nutrition comes in.
Right.
Actually help you build the muscle. This is gonna help you lose the fat, but we're gonna help you build the muscle and get the hourglass figure. You feel good. Bro, people would eat this shit the fuck up, bro.
Right.
I'm telling you, for sure.
Yeah, especially with her like in the med spa, since she does have this body contour and like she has like the face contouring and like you see the results right away too. I think there's even more we can do with that where it's just like instant results.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I guess like just keep me posted. Like this is something for sure, like one of the things, like,
Yeah.
you know, if I it's hard to kind of be in the trenches with something like this, but like I want to be as possible as much as possible be in the trenches. And then if you want to like send me the scripts and everything, I can have a look. Try to have some looks at them.
Absolutely. For now, yeah, I'm just gonna try to break through that bottleneck of getting people booked. And then once I get those numbers, I can like really work with her on that back end of, upselling. But again, she's doing a great job so far. And I think it could be just like you said, 1,000 times better. So I'm very excited. I think because so many clients do this, it's just like it would get like the worst or like the most like, types of people that just ask a lot of questions. So if I can at least kind of crack through that and collect deposits over the phone, just me having that
Questions.
voice recording and stuff, I feel like it's just gonna give me so much more conviction to be like, no, just follow this.
Exactly. Like some of the questions, I mean, just common sense to me, and issues like the moment they hop on, it's like, hey, so I know you opt in for the semaglutide thing. Like, first of all, just before we even get started, I'm going to ask you a few questions because this stuff works, but it can almost work dangerously too well. Just before we hop in, just want to make sure, like, have you tried dieting before? I have tried. How did it work? It didn't work. I'm getting them to fucking talk about all the pain. Got it. So have you tried working out? Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. There's pros and cons. It's kind of a bittersweet thing. It definitely 100% work. It's going to allow you to lose 20% of your body weight. The thing is, this is kind of one of those decisions that and the rest again, I'm not sure about, because now I'm thinking scary shit like fucking be on it for life. But like, like those are the kinds of things that are brewing. Like I can just totally see something like that working. I'm telling you, VSL is going to be a part of it if you've done correctly. I bet you nobody's doing this shit correctly. Nobody's fucking doing this shit correctly. Like I'm looking at fucking the Kardashians and all these people out in Hollywood, and like everybody's on this shit.
Right.
None of these medical spas know how to fucking sell this shit. This is an Alex Hermosi gym launch $2,000 package. I'm telling you right now, this is a $2,000 package. People just haven't figured out how to crack it yet.
Yeah, I agreed. Okay, yeah, because I feel like the script I'm working with right now is just so vanilla compared to like what you just said. So I would like to one share what that script looks like, and then two, maybe we can like even think about when I hop on that launch call with her, what questions I should ask for like the facts, like as far as what are the common questions, what are the main things that you hit, like really just deep dive and just let her know ahead of time, like, hey, I'm gonna take this time to really deep dive into semaglutide. So I'll have set up questions to ask and stuff.
This 100% should not be sold like a traditional like Botox type of deal. Like don't sell it the same way. If you sell it like a $2,000 life-changing, it's going to change your body type of thing. That's how
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Anyways, but yeah, dude, just like send me stuff and I'll stay out, I'll give you feedback. And
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like even just how you're framing that made up script you just did, I think it's gonna, because most of my clients, as much as I give them scripts, they'll get on the call with these people and it's like I see it's like a 1 minute, 2 minute call and they're just kind of getting them booked in. Like I want to really show them to like get to that root emotion and stuff. So I think it'll be good. I'm excited to like kind of crack this side of things.
Cool. Me too, man. Cool.
Cool.
What else you got that you want to chop it up about? Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I'll see how the next 2 days goes, and if I get 1 or 2 more closes.
Just two more, no big
Just
deal.
1 or 2, yeah, that's more.
No
But
big deal.
yeah,
Um,
gotta transition strong out of my job. So
yeah.
yeah, I think I'm good on my end.
Okay. MJ, did you have me and MJ were talking. There were a few things that maybe you could MJ had a question on regarding like paid in full or like how to structure payment. MJ, I'll let you take it away if you want to ask Aman.
Yeah, for sure. It was ultimately like the payment structure that you have. So like on your sales call, when you let them know the paid in full, is that just your service fee? So like, the monthly recurring that you have, or the paid in full, is that just the service fee? Or is that total both service fee and their ads inside that one paid in full? Or how are you
Got it. So it is just my service fee. So what I've been trying to do now is ahead of time, whether it's on the discovery, whether it's in the discovery phase of the demo call, really gauge if they have, be able to spend on ad spend like $30 a day. Just kind of be upfront about, hey, are you able to spend, the 750 towards, Facebook and Instagram? And then this way when I get to the end of it, I bring that up first. Like, it's kind of like I have like a XXXX, on the dollar amount. And then I say so, as we discussed, we basically it'll be like $20-$30 in the beginning for ad spend that goes directly to Facebook, Instagram, and then our marketing fee, and then kind of go into it there. So that way they're not like surprised of like, they're paying with me, but then they also have to pay this extra fee. I try to let them know ahead of time about all the like ad spend stuff, and then just be very clear when I give them my price, that it's like my price.
Okay. So right now you aren't even controlling their ad spend at the moment. It's just they've agreed that they're gonna make sure that they try and do the $20 a day, and that just is tied to their Facebook account. You don't
Correct.
increase or reduce it or anything like that. You just tell them this is how much you guys need to be spending, and hopefully
No, I
reduce
mean each like business owner can spend more or less, one can spend a lot more on ad spend. So I try to gauge on what works best for them. At the lowest I try to go 20-25. And then, if they are making a little bit more monthly, and I can kind of just gauge that it wasn't that much of a hard decision to like, buy into me and stuff, then I'll say like, we can start this at like $30 a day, $35 a day. So, and they, clients always say like, hey, can we increase the budget on our ads? So I'll just go in and update it. So, that's very flexible. I think it's just more about separating it and letting them know like, hey, this money goes directly to, this is what you can expect. The range to be for going directly to Facebook, Instagram, and then these are what our marketing fees are.
Okay. So are you saying that with where you're trying to get to now, do you want to collect it all up front, or you're still just trying to make sure that it's clearly stated that this is the difference between both?
Yeah, so in the beginning, just letting them know like, hey, are you able to spend, $30 a day on ad spend? And so I'm not even bringing up my fee necessarily, but if they're hesitating on like $30, they're probably not in a place to be spending like, you want them to have that mindset of like, hey, I'm going to be spending so much on advertising, right? So yeah, I'll just kind of do that in the beginning, and then and then at the end when I do reveal my price, again, I kind of hit that ad spend just so they know it's like a separate thing. And then I'll say, and then my marketing fee is, and I'll go to like the pricing stuff.
If I can just chime in really quick, MJ, like it's very similar to what we spoke about before Aman hopped in, and it's very similar to my experience with you, where before you hopped in with the Loom video, what I said, hey, look, only hop on this call if you can afford to spend $30 to $50 per day on advertising. And then at the very beginning of the call, hey, so just want to make sure you can spend $30 to $50, which is about $1,500 a month. You said, yeah. And then before the call ended, or like at the end of our call, it's like, okay, before we get into pricing, just want to make sure, again, you can afford this. Yeah. So how am I doing? I'm doing 3-4 times to make sure that there's a separation between the ad budget versus my fees. So the way you do it so many, once you get in the trenches and you do it, MJ, it'll seem like second nature to you. Right now, I know how you feel. Do a few reps, you'll see.
Yes.
You'll see
Have
that.
you I know you told me about that discovery call. Have you done any more, and have you done any sales calls yet?
This is what the heck? I thought the lights just went out on me. I know I'm black and all, but sheesh, man. So yeah, so I had my first discovery call today. That was what Koshiko was reviewing with me before we
Nice.
found out we can't hear the other person. But I wasn't able to push it to a sales call. So I have a second one literally in about 40 minutes or so. I'm gonna go prep for. So yeah, hopefully I can push that to the sales call. And I was watching I watched both the discovery call and sales call you gave me. I thought they were good. The question that popped in my mind though was, did you happen to have what your sales call was the very first time you had no results?
Just so you can see that their growth is possible. Yeah, I got you. I should be
I
able.
could just see what, a possible model for me of one that you kind of closed with little, and maybe build that up from my side with what you did at the time. So
Got
that's
it.
probably 2 years
I'm
ago
on-
now, whatever.
So basically one that I closed and like earlier on, or one that I didn't close because it was like a little bit rough and just kind of seeing what that looked like.
Yeah, maybe both are okay. I was actually initially thinking one that you closed earlier on without any results that you've gotten to so far where you're at. But both could work for sure as well. Yeah, so I could take that I give that a watch too.
Got it. Okay. I got you. Yeah, it's definitely a way different process back then. So
Yeah, I could
I
tell.
I even started with like just doing trials just so I can show something on my demo, like, hey, these are my clients, these are what I'm ad costs I'm getting them. Not saying you should do that, but definitely yeah, I think Koshik remembers I had a first few wild clients. Or I was at least struggling with them. Maybe they were fine, but
That so like everything carries over, MJ. Is like your ability to sell is also your ability to be a leader and manage relations and emotions, expectation, all that stuff. And so you'll see that like with Aman, his very first, was it Dr. Jennifer? Was that your first client?
I think that was my first client. Yeah.
And so Dr. Jennifer was Aman's first client, and I remember one of the calls that he had with her. He came back to me. He's like, "Kershik, you're not gonna believe it." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, she started crying in the middle of our meeting." And so Aman got her so frustrated that this medical spa business started crying on Aman.
She was like swearing like she never swears and stuff. It was crazy. The craziest part, she's my longest client. She's still paying for me.
The crazy thing is, okay, Aman took her and then got her to do like a paid in full afterwards, after the first 3 months, which is insane. So 1 minute he's breaking her down tears where we don't know what the hell's going on, and then 3 months later he's got his shit together and now she does a pay in full. So shit, life comes at you fast, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Any advice to anyone? Just hang in there. Really.
Yeah. I
Where's
knew
the
that.
other Daniel when you need him?
I also saw the AI conversations too that you were doing go live. I'm like, I haven't played around with what that looks like, but that's actually pretty cool. I'm literally watching like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get to that point where I can actually learn some of these things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna learn a lot from your first client. I mean, even I'm sure just from your first discovery call, you learned a ton from it.
Yeah.
I was so shook from my first discovery call. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. That's when I left for like a month, and I just because she got to reel me back in. So, stick with it. Yeah, I'll send you that call, but just keep hopping on them. You're gonna see patterns. You're gonna see things that people keep asking over and over, and you're just gonna get better with every rep.
Yeah.
Did
I guess the last thing I'm wondering here would be because that was the last note I took down from this one I literally just had, to have a better response for why people wouldn't want to do packages. So if you were to give a rebuttal to someone that's probably opposed to selling like a package deal for something, what is your reasoning with them, or how would you reason with them to try and get them seeing that you should be able to sell like a higher ticket thing? Yeah, how would you navigate that conversation?
I guess like what was the rebuttal? I don't know if I've ever really had someone that was opposed to selling some kind of pack. They all seem to be excited most when I kind of get into like packages.
Right. Yeah, she kind of said that she doesn't because she doesn't believe in it. That was, was kind
Wait,
of like,
what does she not believe in like the package? Like it's a high ticket thing and she doesn't want to sell like a high ticket.
right, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
I guess that really depends on the quality of questions you ask before that. Like how long are her clients around for? Are they just coming in once and then they're leaving? Even just the moral reasons of, they know that doing, hydrofacials for a certain amount of time is going to get them the best results. It's almost like by getting them locked in ahead of time, then they're gonna get the best results, and you increase
Yeah.
their lifetime value,
yeah,
and you collect cash up front, so it's gonna help liquidate all your ad spend. So it's really like in her patient's interest as well
Mhm.
to be able to lock them in for multiple
Mhm.
sessions.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the same reasoning I had as well. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I think two things I'm learning from this is one, probably dig deeper into what that could look like for them in terms of like rejection too for that. So I have a better understanding as to why they wouldn't want to do that. And and then two, basically some of these thoughts you've shared in terms of it's great for both sides, essentially. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. What
You're
else?
asking, or
I was gonna say something, but I forget. I forget what it was. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, MJ, it's a long thing, and there's always next level thing to learn. You can see me and Aman are talking about something that you're gonna counter as well. You're gonna get to that stage as well. So, yeah. Aside from that, was there anything else, Aman, that you want to chop it up about?
No, that's basically it for me. Thanks for answering. I know you're sick, so hope you feel better. I knew coming in here you're gonna be like full energy, just going. I feel like you always think you're gonna not do it, and then we're like no, he's still going somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did take a
But,
nap.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Cool.
But cool. Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to sharing what I learned.
Cool. Looking forward to checking it out, man. I just have a good feeling. I have a really good feeling about it. I know I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay. Adam, what's going on, man? I'm sorry Tony had to bounce.
Yeah,
He
he's not
didn't
feeling too
sound
hot.
very good. He didn't sound very good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty stopped up today. Um, yeah, dude, things are good. Got a lot going on. Let's see this message that he sent. So yeah, this new offer that we've created, 70 leads in 90 days. So this is we plan on following up with every single pet groomer that we have in our pipeline from our previous campaign, which is probably 50 or 60 in there that we haven't heard back from. So I've created like a long-term automation for them. So we plan on just calling them all and blasting them with text messages. I've created a bunch of like case study material of like screenshots of data and Slack messages from clients, like testimonial style stuff. So we're just going to annoy them with a bunch of positive results until we either hear from them. Then if we don't, we'll throw them in a long-term automation. So that's kind of what we're shooting for is 70 and 90 days. And we've kind of come to the conclusion that perhaps like a 3-month agreement is what we should shoot for. Like if if we can work for 90 days for a client and help them acquire 70 new customers, like that LTV is crazy. If we can also kind of provide value in a way that helps them retain these new customers that we help them get. So that's something that we're gonna try to position as like, yeah, we'll help you get all these leads and then we'll teach you how to keep them around and how to and then after the 3 months is over, we can present several options. Maybe they want to keep paying us to keep running ads if the ROI is worth it. And if not, then we want to either sell them a course and then have like a low service fee for coaching and just for access to us to kind of train them on how to do what we do. So, and like also, I think 3 months for a pet groomer, even if they can just break even on ROI, like if we can convince them that it is worth, if we can just help them break even, it's still worth it because that like it's like the LTV is going to be worth it in the long run. So the plan is to create this course and to just to have that ready, and then we'll also run a campaign to just sell the course too. And we'll just have that. Hopefully we can sell, a few courses a month and make a few extra $1,000 aside from getting retainer clients. But that's kind of the game plan. Yeah, what do you think?
So I guess like what with that plan of action, what are the problems that we're trying to solve with, like one by one? Like, okay, Kushik, we're trying to go 70 within 90 days. Like, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? Are you saying that that's the offer that you're going to make at the ad level, or is that something you're offering at the sales call? Like, where are you making that change, and what problem are you trying to solve? So if we can run down each of those changes you guys want to make, and then I can kind of give you my feedback on each of those.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be in like that's the offer that will run in the ads. That's just kind of the position that we're gonna take is like a 3 month. I think the reasoning behind it is we've just come to find out that the ROI is just not with the average order value of a grooming appointment. Then it's the margins are small. So
you need to focus on both.
Then we think about like the lifetime value and kind of sell that more than we're going to help you make a crazy ROI in just a couple of months. It's more of like we've that's just kind of what we found. Like it's hard to keep clients around month after month if they're just breaking even.
So those are two different problems that you're trying to solve, right? There's the problem of getting your calendar booked with sales calls.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the problem of how do I increase lifetime value of my clients' customers. Those are two completely different problems. And so you guys are kind of like meshing them together. If you're saying that this strategic move is to solve, like each strategic move should be to solve one problem. And so as I'm saying down here, when you say 70 leads in 90 days, the only reason if you want to do 70 leads in 90 days, where you should be doing that, in my opinion, is not at the ad level. That should be at the sales level. So when it comes to a sales conversation, what you should be doing is like, hey, look, we have a month to month, but you should do the same thing I do. Essentially, and the same thing everybody in here does, which is like have the regular conversation. Then when you get to the very end, you want to basically say, hey, we have a 3-month thing, and then we have a month-to-month thing, and then get them to do the 3-month thing. Very simple. Mm-hmm. And then what you can do is throughout the sales conversation and throughout the discovery call, you can sprinkle in there, hey, this is a volume game. The way you make a lot of money here is the back end. So our goal when we work with you is to just get you a bunch of people and help you capture a bunch of market share. And then you're really going to see the fruits of our labor, not within these 3 months, but rather 3 months after that, 6 months after that, 9 months, a year, 2 years after that. So this whole thing that you bring up a 70 leads in 90 days, it has nothing to do, in my opinion, with your ad.
Okay.
So your ad is already doing its job, right? Your ad is already bringing people to the door. Your ad has nothing to do with increasing lifetime value or not. You yourself didn't know that the lifetime value problem until you actually ran ads for multiple people and you solve the issue. Just like they themselves won't know it's a lifetime value problem. The purpose of the ad is just to get you some sales calls. That's it. So in my opinion, when it comes to the ad level, the solution at the ad level is to do these kinds of things, what I'm saying, which is like, hey, tweak the first 5 to 10 seconds of the main creative, editing the banner at the top of the page, micro tweaks. Like those are the kinds of things that you guys should be doing, duplicating your ad set. Like those are the kinds of things that you should be doing in order to get your calendar booked with high qualified leads. That's it. Organic content, emails, all that stuff. When it comes to your sales, you want to, again, throughout your discovery and your sales call, what you want to do is you want to sprinkle in there, hey, this is a game of volume. And you want to, by the time you get to the sales call, because of what you're going to say on the discovery call, because of what you're going to say throughout the sales call, discovery and sales call, by the time you actually make that offer of, hey, it's 3 months versus 1 month, they're naturally going to want to do the 3 month because they understand it's a volume game. They understand that they're going to save money. They understand that they're going to see the fruits of the labor 3, 6, 9 months down the road.
Yeah, totally.
So 2 completely different problems. So
Okay.
those are my thoughts in terms of like 70 leads in 90 days. It has nothing to do with your ad level, it has everything to do with like your sales, and just retention and retaining them.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
said something along the lines of a course and selling those, and then my suggestion is to sell a course to get people into the ecosystem to do a done with you.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about doing separate things like, hey, we make some cash flow from the course. The purpose of the course, in my opinion, is to do the same thing I'm doing. Use the course to get customers in for free into your ecosystem,
right?
Or at a profit, right? Sell a $47 course, sell a $97 course, sell a $997 course, sell whatever. You're not selling the course to make money. You're selling the course to get customers that are going to be really good customers that you can do a done with you offer that you can sell them a 3-month thing for $5,000.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense. I like that a lot. And we also want to, in the process of this, we do want to start building like a pet grooming mastermind sort of thing of all of our current clients, past clients, and just like maybe it's just a Facebook group to start out. And then and we've already kind of brought it up to some of our current clients, like Tony's just thrown it out there. Like, would you be interested in hopping into a Zoom call with some of our other clients so we can talk about what's been working, what's not working? And this is our client that's doing the best out of all of them, and she was all about it. So yeah, that makes sense. Use the course to bring into the ecosystem. What do you think about for this reach out in our pipeline that we currently have, since they did come in with our original offer of 30 leads in 30 days? I don't know, what kind of offer do you think we should throw at them in our first attempt? Or do you think it's just like just reach out with some, like, I don't know. What do you think, man?
I don't know. Like that's the part where like I don't have an answer for you in terms of like what that sequence needs to be. In terms of like, hey, I'm gonna blast this offer and be like, hey guys, for the next 30 days, our agency is doing that. Because I don't know how receptive they will be towards that. Because when somebody clicks on an ad, they opt in. If it's been like 30, 60, 90 days since they opted in, they might not even remember you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I really like Drew's methodology. I don't know if you remember that, where Drew would just like find business owners through Google Maps, and they use like, hey, do you want some leads? Free leads. And then he would wait for the first person to respond, and then he would hop on a call with them, have a conversation, and then you'd convert that into a trial. So I think that's a much better approach instead of like, hey, blast out an offer, because I don't think people are going to remember you. That's just my opinion. I don't think people remember you. I think you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to have some people that are for sure going to raise their hand, for sure. But if you, instead of using speed, instead of using a chainsaw, use a scalpel and give every single person the time and energy that they deserve. So one by one, you can reach out to every single one of them, do a double dial, shoot them a text. Hey, this is so-and-so from Market Street Agency. I was just wondering if you wanted some leads this month. We had a few extra that we wanted to pass over to you. Do you have a quick 5 minutes to chat? And if you just do that, like before you get through all of your leads, you'll probably like have a handful of people that you're going to be able to sell to if you just take your time and energy with it. Does that make sense? So instead of hopefully that makes sense. Instead of like blast out and offer like a 7-day sequence, just meticulously reach out to every single one of these person, make it a custom tailored journey for every single one of them. That's what I would do.
Okay. So are you suggesting that we run like a campaign to get those leads, like where they are, and then call them, or is that just to kind of bait them in?
Just
let
bait them in.
We
Yeah.
have some leads.
Yeah, just bait them in.
Yeah. And I mean, I really like what Daniel said earlier about just taking a screenshot of the messages, like the internal notifications, because we started running a Spanish ad like a week ago for our client that's here in North Carolina, and it's like $2.70 a lead, and it's just been popping off. Like some days we get 7 to 9 leads a day. So
That-
using stuff like that is
that in itself is something you might want to write down. That's something you can maybe put in your have in your back pocket, where you say, hey, look, guys, we have some, we had a cool, I don't know if this is the best approach. We're like, hey guys, have you ever looked into getting Spanish leads for your pet grooming business? That's something we've been able to crack. We've got a few that we could send over your way if that's something you're looking into increasing your market share towards the Spanish community. Maybe something that you use. More than anything, what you figured out is like a way to increase lifetime value for each of your clients. Like you just figure out a way to make a lot more money for them by tapping into that. And that's also part of it. That in itself is a campaign, by the way, you could be running with ads. Say, hey, do you want to, hey, pet grooming, dog grooming business owner, would you like to increase your market share to the Spanish community? You can build an entire campaign around that Facebook ad campaign. I know people that do that. Literally the ads, I've been seeing it for like the last 4 years, which is like, hey, dentist, do you want Spanish patients? That's it. It's so, I was so surprised when I saw it. I'm like, who would go for that? But like, they've been running that for years, which goes to prove you could probably do that as well.
Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, we're really trying to crack the code on the Spanish thing, and really like the whole sales funnel of it all. Like we've, if we have a client that doesn't speak Spanish, but they want Spanish ads or they want Spanish customers, we want to be able to help them get that. So like the communication's tricky, but we've been training a Closebot AI chatbot the past few days, and it communicates in Spanish pretty well. So if we can, if the client has like an easily accessible booking system, and maybe it's just a link, like a booking link that our client has, and we can train this AI bot to communicate with the client in Spanish entirely, all in Spanish, send them the booking link with the promo code. Be awesome. I mean, this ad's been performing, and we're only running like one graphic ad for our Spanish client, and I think it's $10 a day we're spending. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys, took that advice up and you guys launched it and found success with it. And I'm gonna keep that in mind as I tell more guys about that. I'm gonna try to get more ads towards Spanish people, because I really do think that's where the money's at right now. That's the cheap Facebook ads are. It's like 2016 numbers. But yeah, so those are my thoughts, man, in terms of tweaking up the ads. I don't think it's necessarily 70 leads in 90 days, 70 customers in 90 days. I just think you have to tweak up your winning ad. You have to tweak it up, do multiple variations. That's how you're going to keep getting your consistent book calls. I don't even think you need to do a Spanish campaign. That's just something you might want to write down, something you could do in the future. Like, hey, one way to increase market share pet dog groomer is to run ads towards the Spanish community. And that's what we specialize in. If that's something you're interested in, we can help you get you a bunch of Spanish community. These are the easiest customers to have for XYZ reason. Click the button below, schedule a call with my team. We'll show you how to do that. Right. So you have a campaign there that you can set up. And 70, 90, like that's, again, we already spoke about that. Within pipeline, yep, we already talked about that. I think you guys should totally look into like creating some YouTube content at this point.
Yeah.
Like you guys should totally have like 15 videos. That's something I'd be doing if I were you guys, and then build that into like a 30-day email sequence.
Okay. Yeah, that's something we've been talking about for quite some time, for a few weeks probably. And we just got like this podcast gear set up at the studio, so we have the space for it, and we have enough results at this point. We have some nice recorded stuff with clients. Like we definitely want to start making some content revolving around grooming. We've been learning a lot these past couple weeks. It's definitely exciting. I think we're kind of just, I don't know, we're kind of just itching to get new clients again, like get more clients, because our margins are so small that we're gonna have to play the volume game. We're just gonna have to, and that's fine. We can do it. But yeah, we just want to make sure we do it right. So we want to make sure we have the plan solidified before we start communicating with a bunch of new groomers again.
How much are you guys on average? So how much are you guys profiting per month for the average client right now? You guys have 6 clients. What is that?
Probably like $600 or $700. Like because a lot of our starting prices was 1,500 for the month, 500 ad spend, 1,000 for our fee, but we end up spending about 700 of that. So even if we can just stay at that $700 margin, if we can get 20 groomers, it'll
Yeah.
work, so
100 times 20, it's about 14 grand a month.
nothing crazy, but if it's kind of a done with you model, and it's, I don't know, and I think the course is gonna have to kind of just be another source of income as well, but ideally we'd like to spend just $500, and we want to be able to get to that point for sure. Every location is different, as you know, so it fluctuates. But with what we're spending on like our own ad spend and our softwares and everything, it does make it pretty hard to pay ourselves with 5 clients. So
Yeah, I know it's you guys gotta look into figuring out some back end stuff. I know I've been saying that for a while, and maybe you've kind of heard some of the stuff me and Aman were talking about, where we're talking about like let's say on average a customer through semaglutide is worth let's say they're worth $700 in profit. I don't know, Aman, how much would you say a client is worth on profit per shot per month? Actually, per month.
you might not be listening.
Aman, did you hear? Oh, did you hear that or no?
Oh no, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
So the question,
It's not everyone was like not talking. I was like, oh shit.
You're good.
the question was, what do you think the profit is per shot for semaglutide for your client?
Per shot, the profit.
Because they charge an average of $135. What do you think the client is profiting from every single one of those shots?
I think I was trying to look at it, but they didn't put what the cost was on that. Let me see if they did or not. Cost, yeah, I don't see the cost on here. I'm not sure what the cost is. I feel like someone might have mentioned it to me before, but let me just see if I can find it.
Let's say, yeah, even if you can find it, let's just say $50 per shot, 5 times 4 is $200. So $200 a month, let's just say, is what they're profiting. Let's say that the average customer is going to stay for at least, if we do our job correctly, they should stay at least 3 months. So 3 months times $200, was that $600?
Mhm.
Right. So if we follow on the math there, Adam, $600 we're saying, right? We keep a sign client on, keep them around for at least 3 months, $600. And what me and Aman are talking about is like, okay, what if we put together like an online fitness thing that we're going to charge $1,000 for? We literally took the profit from 600 to $1,600, like fucking doubled it, tripled it. And that's the kind of stuff you guys need to be looking into. If I'm you guys, and like I'm telling you, like, think outside the box. Like right now, what we're doing is we're combining 2 industries. We're literally combining like med spa with like fucking personal trainers. Like I'm combining Mason's life and Mason's world with like Aman's world. to pair this shit together. So it's like, can you combine dog grooming shit with another industry, maybe, or something? I promise there's some digital thing you can sell to increase the average order value. And then that can be your thing that you apply to every single pet groomer.
Dog, dude, what happens if he did like, I don't know, I guess what happens if he did like a dog training thing and then he like sold a course or something to the people that came in, but then monopolized it where he sold it to all of his clients and then charged whatever for it and then took a percentage of it. Like that would be fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about like a puppy training.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, like, they'll never know how much you're charging for it too. So like you could just charge like whatever amount of dollars, then you can pocket it and then just try to figure out how to sell it to their clientele, which they'll give you their customer list anyway. So it's like if a certain amount of people buy it, you can just make profit off it too, and so can the other people. But all you have to do is make that course or that thing once.
Yeah.
Or maybe like, you know, they weigh the dog and it's like, oh, your dog's overweight. Like you need a dog walker. Like, I don't know. Like that could easily be something as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something. I promise there's something there. You just gotta think.
There is. We've also discussed like maybe helping a groomer white label their own product, whether it's a treat or if there's some sort of affiliate.
Don't do that.
That wouldn't be scalable though. Yeah, that wouldn't be scalable.
Don't do any products. Don't do products.
Yeah, try to stay away from products.
Word.
Yeah, don't do any products. Only do digital stuff.
Yeah.
What about my clients give your dogs Botox?
Sounds that sounds great.
Now we're crossing into yeah,
Semi-glutide for the dogs, you know.
Probably
Like,
work in Miami and Los Angeles.
yeah, probably.
What
Yeah,
dog-
imagine if Kim Kardashian's dog had Botox. Everyone's would want their dog to look a certain way.
A lot of women.
Yeah.
There's something.
Yeah, no, that was all super helpful for sure.
What else you got for us, Adam? I think I covered everything. I don't.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think one last quick question I have regarding an A2P. It's the only situation we've run into. We've been able to get every number approved in a couple days until our client we have in Texas, who is a mobile dog washer, who is opening this week, that we've been just like setting her shit up for the past month or so. Like we created out her social medias and we've been posting regularly, and we just launched a campaign to get applicants for dog washers, and we've gotten like 30 leads for her through that. And then we've launched a grand opening campaign for $20 off your first wash, and that's been doing really, really well. So we've got a bunch of leads for that, but our A2P has been rejected time after time so our automation hasn't been firing. So these leads, we're having to reach out manually. We don't know if it's a Texas thing. I mean, there's nothing different that we did that we haven't done for our other sub accounts, but it just keeps getting denied. So I set up a toll-free number today. How does the toll-free numbers work, Mason? Do you know?
I think I still use a toll-free number to this day,
Yeah.
but that's what I've always had success with. I don't think it's a Texas thing though, because my partner's in Texas and we've never had a problem with it. So that's definitely not the case. But what is the error? Like, what does it say? Like when you go and send the message, what is the error it gives you? Do you know by any chance? There should be like a red triangle, like when you try to send the text message, if they cover over it, it'll give you like an error code or something.
Let me see.
I also have a question with the A2B
Oh.
thing. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, the messages are sending now, so it's sending through our toll-free number that I just set up today.
Okay, you might have to go. If you already sent like automated message, if you go back in, you just click like retry, they should automatically send it, by the way.
Okay.
Or go to contacts, or you can go to contacts and then like select everybody. And then you can do a mass message or an email all at once too. I don't know if you're like separating them now, but I use like tags. So if you like tag them and then just like select the tag and then do a mass like email or message, that's what I do, and that works well for me. But what did you, Aman, you said you had a question there?
Yeah. Basically, like, so I've been doing toll-free numbers like the whole time just because it's been easier to set up for my clients. I just found out about the Verify caller ID thing. Is that something that you do where you connect that to their business phone just so every time someone gets a call, it doesn't say spam likely, they actually get like a business name that pops up?
Yeah, so for me, I don't have to do that, or like I technically don't need to do it just because I don't call them from the Go High Level phone anyway. I just use it to send text messages, so that's never really been a big issue for me. But for someone like you, that probably might be worth it because a lot of people might just be calling the business because it might be easier for them to talk to instead of text.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I were you, I would look into that, but I never really had to do that or use it just because I just don't call off Go High Level and use that number anyway.
Okay, got it. And what about you, Adam? Like, are you doing the shake and stir thing with your clients and then do the verified caller, or are you just signing up for the A2P thing?
We just have been signing up. We've just been getting a number approved through ATP for our clients. No, I don't think we've done any of the verified caller ID stuff.
I saw a video on it, Amon. I can send you it if you need
Okay.
help with that. But I was watching it the other day. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Because that like the toll-free number is so easy to set up, and that's what I've been doing. But
Yeah.
the big is like, oh, just text them before you call them so they know it's like, you calling because of the whole spam likely thing. So I just get rid of
Here-
that.
Oh, Aman, there is a website. I can send you the link. I'll have to find it. I know that we saved it somewhere, but it's some sort of like number registry website where you can literally just copy and paste your number into it, and you just put in a few details and it will get the spam likely gone. Like it'll get it
Oh.
gone as soon as you submit it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can send me, that'd be great. Because at
I
least
can
that's
do
kind
that. I think it'll work for like an 855 or 833 toll-free number. I don't want to guarantee it.
right. But I'll also try the whole verified thing and see if that helps. So maybe that's where a lot of the bottleneck is with my clients too. A lot of my clients, a lot of their leads are getting spam likely. So
Yeah, we dealt with that with a few clients. Until we called ourselves, we didn't realize that it was saying that.
yeah, I only realized this like more recently. So I was like, oh shoot.
All the default numbers say spam likely. At least that's what it's been for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can share that, Adam, and actually the general tab or the value drops channel. That'd be awesome, dude. This way everybody can.
Yeah.
It'll take me a good little bit to find it, but I'll find it tonight.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Adam, was there anything else I could help you out with, man, today?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess is this our last call that will be in here?
This is it, man. We're kicking you guys out, man. The bird. You guys, you're 18 years old. You guys got to go find your own crib and go fend for yourselves.
Hell
No,
yeah.
I'm joking. No, you guys want to keep hanging out? You guys can keep hanging out. I'll send you a Loom video just like I sent the 3-month Loom video, same video. And I think, and then based off of that, you guys can kind of pick and choose whatever you guys want to do, wherever you guys want to take things from here. But yeah, man, I mean, like, what's kind of brewing in your guys' head? How do you guys feel about everything? It's been crazy, man. It's been a good 6 months. Time's kind of flown by.
Yeah,
You guys have
it has
accomplished a
been.
lot. You guys are valley of despair fuckers to like now who you guys are.
Yeah,
It's like
and I mean,
way different.
we still
Uh,
feel it every now and then. It comes in waves when we're just like, fuck, this is really, really hard. But it's as long as we just there's always a solution, I think is what we've kind of realized. It's just a matter of learning and understanding different ways to provide value. And there's really no rules to this shit at the end of the day, you know? Yeah. But it's exciting.
well,
We're just hungry at this point because we've been busting our asses for a minute. So it's time.
Frozen. Hello, hello. What was the thing? Last thing you said? Adam, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You said something about you guys are hungry, and then I didn't hear that last part.
We're just hungry because we've been going at it for 6 months now. And we're just finally to that point where I think we've kind of perfected our offer in a way, or we know what we can deliver pretty confidently. So yeah, it feels good. It feels good for sure. Um yeah, I feel good. We feel good. We just it's just tough. Like I just signed a 6 month lease and the video work is like it's here and there. But it's not paying me enough to live off of. So, you know, I came down here from my family's house with a good bit of money saved, but also a lot invested in crypto. So not a whole lot in the bank account. So I might have to get a little 2 day a week thing or something. I don't know, man. But or I'm gonna give it like one more month. And if we can get a couple more clients and I can at least pay myself a bit, then I'll be happy. But I'm patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have the thing that you guys have now is this thing that um it's you just have it's like you got like this magical amazing sword that has amazing powers and freaking electricity comes out of it and just like it does cool shit. You got this really cool tool and now it's just a matter of like how do how do you yield that tool? You know what I mean? Like that's where you're at. You guys have picked up the sword. You guys have fucked around and played around with it. At first, you guys were in the valley of despair. We were like, "Fuck, I'm gonna cut myself," and now you're not afraid of that. Now you're just like, "Okay, how can I fuck people up with this?" And it's just about leveraging that. So that's kind of a metaphor, but like really, you're in a place where you have two options. One option is like, like I said, it's the hard thing of like figuring out how to increase lifetime value, adding a course and digital product. Or another thing is just like, dude, like if you guys want to explore something, I know you talk about chiropractors, I know you talk about some of these other things. Like there are other things that you can explore. You have the ability to. And so yeah, I mean that's the reality of where you're at. And so yeah, you're right to be patient, and now you have the wisdom to be patient. You're not freaking out, kind of sitting on your hands and freaking out. You know the game, you understand the game,
Sure.
and nobody can take that away from you guys.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if we can come this far in 6 months, I feel good about the next six. So yeah, all is well. And I think we are gonna try something related to Drew's method, in fencing we've been talking about. Because that's a pretty big market here in Eastern North Carolina. Um, so that might keep us afloat financially if we can execute that right. But yeah, we got options. We're gonna give it a shot.
All right, man. Well, if that's everything, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on and help out Daniel. Unless there was something else, Adam?
That's it.
Okay.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you too as well. Daniel, man, hope all is well. We got baby daddy in the house.
Looks like he slept for like the past 45 minutes. Like last
Where
like 3 days.
is he frozen? Oh no, there he's hopping in. He's off. Daniel. Mr. Rodarte. Oh no.
Can you hear me?
He's lagging out for me. Oh, there he is.
What's going
Sorry
on,
about
baby?
that. My
Daniel, what's going on, man?
busy, man. I got a lot of shit going on.
I don't know, man. It looks like you slept for the past 3 days, man.
I can tell you I have not.
Hope everything is well.
It's going good, man. I'm trying to like sorry, my laptop froze like right when you were ending the call with Adam there, and then I'm trying to get it on my laptop so I don't have to use my phone. But see if this works.
I've got your questions and stuff pulled up here.
Yeah,
That's
I that's not working right now. Sorry, I gotta go my phone.
Oh, don't worry about it.
But yeah, so I made some progress there with Kyle's his father-in-law. I spoke to, I guess that would be his wife's mother, stepmother. I don't know who that is, but yeah, it worked out. She gave me a lot of good information as far as stuff that I could use to advertise to get a
Ask her if
client.
she wants pizza. Little Caesar's pizza or something.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Go ask her if that's
I,
what she
when
wants.
you say- I didn't say anything. Mason, can you're not it's on mute. There you go. Sorry, go ahead, Rodarte.
Yeah, she gave me a lot of good information as far as how to market to HVAC owners to get them in my niche funnel, and then also I got some information as far as getting them results. So I think I'm ready to move forward and launch my niche. Well, I got to do all the things, but I'm ready to write the scripts and then create the funnels and then launch my niche funnel, and then also her offer. So the guy buys like a bunch of air conditioning units, and like she was telling me, like he not all of them do it this way, but he bought like a bunch of them in bulk. So he has like 58 air conditioning units, and he's trying to get rid of, and they're kind of nervous because it's a late summer so far. It doesn't seem like it's getting hot there yet. So they want to get rid of those AC units.
That her husband is Kyle's father-in-law or somebody else.
Correct. Kyle's father-in-law.
Gotcha.
Their company's called Midwest Efficiency. So yeah, they want to get rid of these AC units. So yeah, I just had questions as far as I'm sorry, my computer's freezing up, so I don't know what I wrote there in the Slack.
I've got your questions here.
Okay.
So basically the question that you had asked was how much should you be charging per ad spend and per week? And then the second question you asked is like how should you go about doing the creatives for them in terms of service delivery? That's so did you get a chance to read through my answer? You haven't yet.
No, yeah, I read through it. And
Okay.
I thought of some other questions, some follow-up questions, I guess.
Oh, okay. You wrote out some other questions. Got it.
Yeah. But I have them here, or I didn't write them out. I just thought of them at my appointment just now.
Okay.
But I guess so my concern with selling AC units is like that's like a huge ticket item, right? So do I just like advertise for that, or is it should I advertise a service call too? I guess like that's where I'm like, because as far as ad spend goes, I'm anticipating like the leads being expensive for an AC unit install.
So are you asking me like in terms of service delivery like, okay, what kind of ads should I be running for my clients? Or are you talking about like, are you offering AC installs to these HVAC business owners so that they book a call with you? Which one of those two are you referring to?
To get my client results. So marketing for HVAC owners
Okay.
to their customers.
Yeah, that's simply, man, that's what that I have no clue. That I have no
Okay.
clue. I would not know. You would know by doing the market research. Only you would know. Only you would know, and only people that have been running ads for HVAC business owners would know. That's not something I could tell you.
Okay, yeah. I was just like, so I was asking her, you know, what kind of course, like it's like Murphy's Law, dude. Like right before it's like my turn, my computer takes a shit. But trying to retrieve my notes here. On the interview, she, you know, we put people in buckets. She said, yeah, there's industry, there's industrial, there's commercial, there's residential, and along with residential is service. So service being like, hey, my stuff's broken, come fix it. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Sorry, man, I'm a little frazzled today. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with my computer.
Okay.
Yes, but the main thing was, you know, the lead's been expensive. So I guess my thought was in an ad set or whatever, do I market or should I? And I mean, you told me you didn't know, but my thoughts were advertising for an AC unit install, and then maybe like also a service, AC unit tune up or something, because maybe they could upsell. Just getting them results, right? So I guess those are my thoughts. What do you think about that?
So the way you want to think about it is this. It's very simple. Like it's just one, it's not necessarily selling multiple things. It's like, it's very, can you see my screen, Daniel?
Yeah.
So the way I like to think about it is like, this is your bank account. This is your client's bank account. And this is the bank account of your client's customers. And the only thing that you're trying to do is you're just trying to funnel as much money as you can from these guys into this bank account, and then from this bank account into your bank account. That's it. So which one of these is going to give you the most? So maybe you can get a crap ton of customers for one offer. So maybe in this example, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have, let me know if you can hear me, Daniel.
I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay. So are you with me so far, or was there a part that you missed that I need to run through?
Can you run that again? Sorry.
Yeah. So this represents your bank account. This represents your client's bank account. And this represents the bank account of the customers of your clients. And your only mission is to increase the number of customers and increase the value of the customers. So how do you increase the number of customers? Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads, email marketing, all these different marketing channels to get customers. And then you have to figure out how to increase the value. So, okay, instead of getting them to spend, you know, $100 with my customers, I'm going to get them to spend $200. And the reason for it is because all of this money is being funneled into your client's bank account. And then from your client's bank account, you're funneling into your bank account. That's it. That's the game. It's a very simple game. And so the way you want to look at it is almost like your client doesn't matter. That's how I look at it. My client doesn't matter because these customers are basically my customers, because this is my money and I'm just funneling it over into my bank account, and my client's bank account is just kind of like a mediary. So if I were to view business this way, let's say I have 5 customers here, and these are my client's customers, but they're technically my customers, right? And let's say that with one of the offers, I basically get $5. Right? Because I got 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 people, and each of those individuals is worth $1 in profit. That means I got $5 that I'm going to funnel here. And then from that $5, maybe I'll funnel $2 here. Another option is I got 5 people here, Okay, I'll give you another example. Maybe I got 3 customers here. And so these 5 customers are for one type of offer. Maybe it's the AC install, okay? These 3 customers are for a completely different kind of offer. I don't know what the other offers that you mentioned. I don't know, but we'll just say AC manipulation. I don't know. And let's say each one of these is worth like $10, $10, $10, $10. So now what we're doing is we're looking at $30. So we have $5 up here if we do this offer, and we have $30 down here. Which one's better? $30 because I can funnel that in here, and then out of the $30, maybe I can funnel to myself $25. Does that make sense fundamentally?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with like what kind of offer or this or that. It's just how much money can I help my customers make, because I can extract that and put that in my bank account. That's the only way you got to be thinking about it. So sometimes there's high volume and high volume, low profit, or low volume, high profit. So maybe you sell a $10,000 thing because there's $3,000 of profit, and you only need to sell a handful of them for you to get your fee. Or do I do a high volume where I'm getting a bunch of people, relatively low profit, but because it's such a high volume, I'm making them enough money to funnel that into my bank account. And I don't think you should be doing multiple. It logically makes no sense to do multiple. Logically, because you should be doing the thing that's going to make the most amount of money. There is a time and a place for 2, but I just don't think it's right now for you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think if you focus on just one, that's maybe a smarter move. Just focus on like the one that's going to make the most profit first. That's going to be the easiest to do first. Does that help, or does that make it more confusing?
No, it helps, it clarifies, but so I guess the answer would be just for the AC units, because those are what they want to push.
It's not necessarily what to push. You want to be thinking to yourself, what is the easiest to push? And when I say easiest, it's going to be like, what's going to get the clicks? What's going to get the leads? What's going to be the easiest in terms of nurturing? What's the easiest? What's the most profitable? It's not what they want. The easiest, what is the most profitable? And then what is even practical to sell? So easiest, profitable, and then practical. Because like, let's say that they're not giving you, let's say they're giving you, I don't know, $1,000 of ad spend, and how much is an HVAC unit? Like, how much does it cost? 25 grand?
I think she said about like, it could be up to 8,000.
Okay. So if something is for 8 grand, I mean, that might cost $1,000 in ad spend, right? It might cost $1,000 in ad spend to sell one of those. So it's like, if you're working with a business owner that's like, you're not even charging, if you charge them only like $200 a month of ad spend, like you can't even help them sell that thing.
Okay.
So all 3 of those, what is not just what they want, but what is possible, what is the easiest thing to do, and what is the most profitable thing to do? So effort, profitability, and actually practicality, all 3 of those variables.
Okay.
Does that help a little bit?
No, yeah, that helps a lot.
Good. So yeah, I would look in, have another maybe conversation, do a little bit more research to kind of figure that out. Again, niche expert is going to know that a lot more than I will. And then from there, you can kind of go all in and focus on just selling that thing. And that might be the AC, or it might be a service. I feel like, yeah, you'd have to just explore that and kind of see. I feel like AC, like, I feel like services is pretty simple to sell, actually. I don't know. But I also feel like services would, for like AC units, I don't see a lot of people waiting around for a Facebook ad when their AC is broken. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's AC is broken, I feel like you're going to be on Google searching.
Yeah, exactly. And so like the thing I was like, do we launch an ad for like AC tune-ups?
Yeah. Through Facebook ads?
Yeah, but those aren't, I don't think there's like much money in that. She says like the money makers are like the equipment, with like new equipment, right?
Yeah.
So
Do you see people running Facebook ads for those that to sell equipment?
I have for both equipment and for just for like a tune-up.
Okay. Have you do you know if there's anybody that's running ads for HVAC?
I don't know anybody who's running ads now.
Have you searched into that? Have you looked into trying to find somebody?
I have, and then I got to where I got with that one guy, and then that was it. And then my kid came, and so I haven't continued now.
So no, what I mean is this: have you found somebody? Not that guy. What you want to be looking into is somebody that is selling HVAC stuff, but through paid ads.
They are selling. No, I don't know. I don't know anybody. But
So
yes,
you
I
want to
will
be
be looking.
Yeah, what you need to do, man, is like a lot of the stuff I feel like I'm giving you a lot of it depends. I'm giving you a lot of kind of like frameworks and principles and foundations, but I'm not telling you like specifically, yo, this is what you need to be selling. Cause I just, like I said, I don't have the answer to that. So if I'm you, like one thing you should be doing, you know, again, now that you're kind of back in the grind zone, is finding either a business owner that runs Facebook ads. So an HVAC business owner that's running their own ads, or two, you have three options. Two, an agency, a business owner that is running ads, but maybe they've got an agency running ads for them, so they're not running ads themselves. And so it's going to be hard for you. Like, I mean, that's not, I'll be honest, like you're probably not going to get that information.
Oh, you know what I did? While I was at the hospital, actually, I got in the algorithm as far as HVAC supplies, and I got inside a funnel for a new HVAC unit.
Okay, good.
This obviously isn't something that I can like just buy. So, but like I got like the text and I got a glimpse like what their funnel looks like.
Good. That's good. That's good. And like we definitely want to keep that somewhere stored. But what I'm saying is that what you really need to be doing is you need to be going directly to the source. So you either need to be speaking to one, a HVAC business owner that is running their own ads, or two, an agency owner that is running ads for an HVAC business owner. You need to be doing one of these two things. You need to find one of these two people. This is literally what you did with the Pilates lady. You found somebody that is running her own ads, right? She's the one that told you, hey, we need to be doing the free class offer. That's how we knew that. So the same thing applies. Like whether we're going to sell AC units or whether we're going to do some kind of a touch up or whatever the heck we're going to do, we need somebody who's in the trenches already running these ads to give us the answer. So that's where you need to be starting. That's where you need to be looking. So it's good that you're doing this research. It's good that you're in some funnels, but we need to be doing this as well. And that's going to be, honestly, it's going to be a shorter, it's going to be a much better shortcut for you, in my opinion.
Okay.
Getting somebody directly to a source. And then from there, if you want to present that information to me and say, hey, Kushik, I had a conversation with this person. This is what they're saying. Cost per lead, cost per acquisition, profit margin. And that's the other big thing. Maybe you want to write this one down as well. Whenever you do find that person, you want to figure out what is the profit margin on each of those things. So when they do the service, what is the profit margin? When it comes to the AC units, what is the profit margin? You want to figure out what is the cost per lead, what is the cost per acquisition on both of those, or if there's more services, all the services, and then we can kind of go all in on, you know, 1, 2, or 3 of them, probably 1 or 2.
Okay. So in the meantime, though, with this HVAC trial run that I'm doing, it's just a trial run in the sense that, hey, I'm not charging you, I'm just charging you ad spend. So it's just we're just kind of like throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks, right?
The thing is, if I'm you, okay. So why are you doing it? First of all, like, what are you trying to accomplish from this?
To learn.
To learn how to get results for somebody, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So what I would do is before you throw anything at the wall, what I would do is, again, step 1 is what I was just saying, find one of those 2 people and confirm with them first. Once you have learned from them, take that information, then apply that to Kyle's father-in-law. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if somebody tells you, yo, Dan, you got to run the AC play because it's the most profitable, the most practical, the easiest to do. Okay, great. Let's go and run that play. Let's practice that. But don't, whatever, if I'm you, I'm not just going to randomly throw stuff at the wall. It's not, I would not be doing that.
Okay. All right. I think that's I can't even see what I yeah, let me see my phone here. If there was anything else I had. No, I guess that's it, and that's all I had.
Okay. You sure? Nothing else? That's it?
No, I mean, yeah, you kind of answered and told me like where I need to go this week, what I need to do.
Oh, so let's do that. Let's find those people. And then, you know, if she's telling you, if you got like, I mean, when it comes to building out your niche funnel, if you have spoken to like 1, 2, 3 people and they've consistently told you like, hey, we want to sell more AC units, or we want to sell more of this, and they've already given you information, well, then launch your ads with that stuff. So build out your client acquisition funnel with that. So whatever like a business owner tells you like, oh, I want more of that, does not necessarily mean you should sell more of that. Right? So if she's telling you, I want to sell more HVAC units or whatever, or AC units, doesn't necessarily mean you should run ads to help them sell it, because that might not be the most profitable thing. They don't know what the fuck they're talking. However, if they tell you, hey, that's what we want to sell, well, then you should make your ad material to get your calendar booked with that, because they're telling you that's what they actually like really want to sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I guess for me, just what's confusing is I thought the whole point was, you know, to get my calendar book and do sales calls and, you know, book sales calls and then like, you know, close clients before I learned. I thought that was the whole point, is like just to get somebody, you know, to pay me money. And then I'm like the more clients I bring on, the more opportunities I have to like see what works and then model that.
That is true.
Now,
That is.
but you're saying from what I'm getting right now is like, hey, do research before you do that.
So
is that all right?
So maybe okay. So maybe let's take a step back. So I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm not confusing you. So let's consider the problems that you're trying to solve, right? Let's kind of bucket all these together. So problem 1 is we have this trial person, which is Kyle's stepfather. I'm sorry, father-in-law who you can help. Okay, great. So yeah, we want to definitely take this opportunity. We definitely want to help him out, right? Why? Because you'll get your, you know, you're going to get your hands dirty. You're going to learn some stuff, and, you know, you're going to maybe get a testimonial. It's going to be good for you. Get that experience in. Yeah. But you cannot help, you don't want to spend his money and just like throw it against the wall and it might not do anything, because you've just wasted your time. You wasted his time. You wasted his dollars. You wasted your dollars, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
So the best way to efficiently help him is to do a little bit of research before you like throw stuff at the wall. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So that means that what we have to do, so now that means we have a second problem that we have to solve, which is the problem we have to solve. It comes before this problem. So this is Kyle's father-in-law, but now we have a problem we have to solve before that, which is, okay, we have to go out there and we have to find somebody who's already running ads profitably. So we have to find this person. We have to pick this person's brain, learn from this person. This person will tell us everything that we need to know that will allow us to help you solve this problem, which is helping Kyle's father-in-law. Does that make sense? So we're solving this problem, but the only way to solve this problem is to solve this problem first. Make sense with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are 2 problems that we're solving, 2 things that we're doing. Simultaneously, we have a third thing that you're doing. And so that's what this hand represents. And that's what are you doing? You're consistently getting your calendar full with discovery and sales calls. And you have really 2 ways to do this. So there's 2 ways to do this. One way is to do Drew's method, which you have the ability to, nobody stopping. You can do that right now. We already have proof of concept, because you can just DM people, you can just text people and say, hey, do you want leads? You can already do that. That's not a problem. But the problem with this one is, even if they say yes to you, you don't even know what kind of ads to run for them because you got to solve this problem here first. You see how it's not like black and white. It's a little bit, it's kind of like a spider web. So you solve this problem, and this problem will allow you to solve this problem. When you solve this problem, it will also allow you to solve this problem here, which is Drew's method. So you first got to figure out the root of it, which is like, how do I actually get these people results? You don't need to figure out, but you need to have some kind of an idea, some kind of a blueprint. So then we can do Drew's method to get your calendar book. And then on top of that, what about running ads for yourself to get your calendar book? You can actually solve this problem right now. And this is where talking to HVAC business owners is going to help you. So you already spoke to Kyle's mother-in-law, who told you like, okay, here's the kind of content that if you had this Kyle content, Daniel, I would totally click on your ad. I would totally book a call with you. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm going to buy whatever the heck you have to sell. Yeah. So you have one person who has helped you with this. What I'm telling you is that you want to speak to at least 3 people. You don't want to speak to just one person. I wouldn't listen to just one person. I would listen to maybe 3 HVAC business owners before you create your marketing material. And here's why. There are a lot of people out there that have different beliefs. There are some videographers that don't believe in coaches like myself. They think we're all a scam. There are other people that swear by it. There's some people that are on the fence. So I'm not going to listen to like just 1 or 2 people. I'm going to kind of have a larger audience. And then I'll be like, okay, here's what I'm hearing. Here's the pattern. I spoke to 4 different HVAC business owners. And what I'm hearing is that this is what my offering should be. Here's what my ad should say. Here's what my sales page, my calendar page, my thank you page should say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I gave you I know I just gave you a lot. And maybe you should watch this part again, but we're simultaneously solving like 6 problems. And that's why it's not black and white. We're doing multiple things.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
No, I just gotta like map it out as far as, time management and, seeing what I can do in a week and whatever else.
Yeah. If so, I know I just gave you a lot. If I'm gonna like help you map it out and just focus on like the easiest thing to do, the fastest thing to do, what I would do if I were you, easiest low-hanging fruit is like go inside these Facebook groups like you did the last time and start searching for people that have ran ads for HVAC. That's the easiest thing you can do, because that one problem, when you solve that problem, it automatically will allow you to solve these other problems, some of these other problems. Yeah. So start there. And then the second thing I would do is I would try to find maybe 2 other HVAC business owners to interview. That's it. Maybe make that like your to-do list for the next 3 to 5 days. Just focus on that. And I think that by the end of this week, if not middle of next week, if you do both of these 2 tasks, by the middle of next week, what we can do is we could probably have the content written out for your ad for your funnel. And maybe we can launch ads for Kyle's father-in-law. That's where we could very realistically be by this time next week.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to go over, man?
No, I just looked at Mason's note here. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, cool. Guys, if that is everything, I will see you hooligans here next Monday.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Mason.
You're welcome. See you guys.